Ehem. Váš král Kony se vrátil. A je zpátky. S další nádhernou dávkou. Fate Stay Night Remastered. Sešli jsme se tady, abychom pokročili v našem příběhu. Příběhu Emi Shira a jeho servanta Saber, což je taky náš dal by se říct love interest. Minule jsme měli menší problémy a to, že použila svůj noble phantasm a bohužel se skoro jim zabila. Její magická energie je skoro na nule a musíme s tím něco dělat. A proto to nemůžu dále zdržovat. A jdu zapnout Fate Stay Night. A půjdeme do toho. Musíme zachránit Saber. Musíme zničit jiný servanty a vyhrát tady tu válku. Continue. Ok, čete, jste ready. 10. únor. Fate. Dragon Slaying. Ok. Game Capture. Počkám si, až to bude actually capturovat. Altria. Okay. Jo, všechno jde vidět. Altria. That's the name she was given when she celebrated her coming of age. It was wartime. It began with the collapse of an empire. An empire that had been meant to be eternal was slowly waiting to die amid invasions from all sides. In preparation for the many wars, the Empire deprived an island nation of its military. That is how it began. Having lost the Empire's protection, her nation had no choice but to become independent, and over time, it broke up into smaller nations. The invasions came again and again. Internal conflicts between clans spiraled out of control. Then came a long period of war, which would later come to be known as the Dark Ages. It is during this difficult time that she was born, heir to the throne. A long, tumultuous period of war. The king believed in a mage's prophecy and so eagerly awaited the birth of his worthy successor. But the child born to him was not the child he desired. His child wasn't male. Fated king or not, the child could not assume the throne unless they were a boy. So the girl was entrusted to the king's retainer and was raised as a knight. The king was saddened, but the mage delighted. One's sex has nothing to do with one's worthiness to become king. More than that, the mage was convinced that the girl's absence from the castle until the day of the prophecy was proof she was the true king. So, she grew up under the care of a simple and wise old knight as his adopted child and successor. The older knight did not believe in the mage's prophecy. He simply raised her to be a knight and hoped for her to continue growing, because he felt something from her that reminded him very much of his own lord. But even without the knight's encouragement or intervention, the girl trained every day to become stronger than anyone else. If an ailing country, headed toward its own demise, can only be saved by a king, the girl had sworn to wield her sword for that reason, and that reason alone, without anyone ever needing to tell her to do so. And then the prophesied day arrived. Knights and lords from around the nation gathered in hopes of being chosen to be king. If this was to be a contest or to determine the best possible king, all assumed the selection would be made in a mounted joust. Instead, all that waited at the site of selection was a naked blade thrust into a stone. On the hilt of the sword, a glittering golden inscription read, "Whosoever pulleth this sword from the stone is the rightful king of England." Many knights took their turn trying to draw the sword from the stone, but none were able to draw the sword from the stone, so the knights decided to compete in a joust, as they had originally expected on arriving. The girl was not yet a knight, and so could not participate in the joust. She approached the stone of selection, which sat largely abandoned, its appeal having long since faded, and reached for the sword's hilt. She did not hesitate. Oni změnili Merlinu v voice actora. Wait just a second there. Maybe you should think before you take hold of that. She turned around, and before her stood the most feared mage in the nation. He gave his warning. Once she takes hold of that sword, she will cease to be human. She responded only with a nod. To be king is to no longer be human. She has been resolved to this from the moment she was born. To be king is to kill more than anyone, in protection of everyone. The young girl thought of this every night, and lay in bed, shivering at the implications, until morning. Not a day went by that she was not afraid, but in that moment, she pledged that her days of fear were at an end. She drew the sword effortlessly from the stone, and bright light engulfed the whole of the site of selection. And in that instant, she ceased to be human. A king's sex does not matter. So long as they carry out the function of a king, none would care about a king's appearance, or even bother to pay attention to such a thing. And even if someone noticed the king was a woman, it would not matter, so long as she was a good king. The sword's magical energy must have halted her growth. While many knights found it eerie and feared her, most saw their lord's immortality as a divine gift. And so, the legendary, celebrated age of the king began. The new king in battle was seen as something of a god of war. The king always led from the front. No enemies could stand in her way. Aldria, the god of battle, hailed as a dragon incarnate, she knew no defeat. In 10 years, she fought 12 battles and never once lost. In those days, her chief duty as a king was on the battlefield. Not once did she turn back, not once was she disgraced. She was raised to kingship and fulfilled her obligations without hesitation. Maybe that's why I had a vision of her. Her soul must still be on the battlefield. It's not yet dawn. She stands under the indigo sky and lets the wind whip at her as she stares off into the distance. The sky is high and clouds slide by overhead. Out in the clear air, sword in hand, she gazes at the great army she's about to confront. That image of her won't leave me. It's burned into my mind now. She and her sword are one, the sword from the stone, which chose the king. The brilliance of the sword that determined her fate is also her brilliance. But I tilt my head in wonder at this dream. That sword isn't the one she holds. It's similar, but different. The sword she holds now isn't the one she used last night. But if that's the case, what happened to that incredible sword? Damn. To je hodně informací. Oh. When I wake from my dream, I find myself in my own room. It's bright outside. I must have come back to my room last night, unable to make a decision, then fallen asleep while I was watching over Saber. That was a dream? It was a strange dream. What I saw, I had no way of knowing any of that, and that wasn't the Saber I know. Is it even possible for me to dream of such a thing? But that sword was definitely different from the one Saber had. I racked my brain. Saber's identity had been unclear. And honestly, I still can't get my head around who she really is. Saber is Saber. I can't change the way I act around her. And I don't think Saber would want that in any case. But she looked incredible. She looked really cool with that sword last night. But she looked good with the sword in my dreams too. It'd be fair to say I was in awe. The sword last night and the sword from my dreams seem to have left one hell of an impression on me. I guess I've got a thing for swords. I thought Lance's spear was beautiful when I saw it too, but my passion for swords is on a whole other level. It would appear I've a thing for swords. Tohle musím screenshotnout a poslat Coelovi. Well, that's not really anything new. I draw in a deep breath and reach up, finding my forehead dripping with sweat. It sure is hot here. I wipe the sweat from my forehead. It's winter, but my body feels flushed. I don't know why, but it feels like my blood is getting hotter, and it's unsettling. I wonder why. Ever since I saw Saber's sword, my whole body's been hot for some reason. My left hand, the one with my command spells, feels like it's holding a hand. Feels like it's holding a hand warmer. It's the same sensation I felt when Tosaka made me swallow a jewel. Like there's something stirring in me, or making me want to run. I take a deep breath, trying to calm myself. Saber's probably still asleep. She still hasn't woken up, but it looks like she's stabilizing. Her breathing is even, and that pain look she had last night had smoothed over. Saber is sleeping peacefully. It's a morning like any other. Maybe if I let her sleep, Saber will recover. That way, I won't have to make her kill anyone. Then she could stay with me, just like she has been. How could I be so selfish? I slam my fist into the wall. My own weakness nauseates me. It's my fault Saber turned out this way. What the hell am I going to do? I stand up without another sound. I don't know when Saber's going to wake up, but I have to make a decision before she does. Tosaka's not up yet. The house is completely dead and the corridor feels deserted. No, it only feels like that because I'm so down. I can't decide what to do, so the whole world feels hazy and I'm just wandering in that grayness. Huh? I hear something cutting through the air. There it is again. It's coming from the yard, but that's... I know that sound. Well, I don't feel like making breakfast, so I'll go take a walk and check it out. It's colder than usual. Must be really cold for me to feel it, feverish as I am. It looks like it might even snow. It's coming from the shed. The sound of something slicing through the air reaches me at regular intervals. As I cross the yard, my breath mists the air. I find him in front of the shed. Given how unsurprised I am to find him, I guess I figured he would be here. He must have been shooting his arrows. The moment Archer sees me, he lowers his bow in displeasure. That's dangerous. Don't shoot arrows in my house. What were you going to do if once hit something?
どうするつもりもない。もとより矢など使っていないのだ。いていないものが当たる道理はなかろう。
Nothing in particular. I wasn't using arrows to begin with. Can't hit anything if you're not shooting anything. He doesn't have to tell me that, so the sound was just his bow itself. For some reason, Archer was just plucking his bowstring, not firing arrows. That's a good-looking bow. Didn't want to say as much earlier, but I guess you're a bona fide archer.
さて、私はお前が知っている弓使いとは違うからな。弓道など聞かれても答えられんぞ。
I wonder. I'm not an archer like you understand it. So even if you ask, I can't teach you anything about archery.
お前たちの弓は己に当てる射であり、私のは敵に当てる矢だ。お前の言うアーチャーというのは礼節を重んじる者のことだろう。
Your archery is about shooting arrows for yourself. Mine are used to strike at enemies. You think of archers with a concern for things like civility. His lips curl snidely. I still can't stand this guy. I never thought to ask you about archery in the first place. I was just wondering what you were doing.
見ての通り、調子を測っているのだが。
As you can see, I'm just keeping my skills sharp.
セイバーにつけられた傷も癒えた。いつまでも見張り役というわけにもいくまい。
The injuries I sustained from Saber have healed. I can't stay on guard duty forever. I see. So his wounds have healed. That means Tosaka will get back into the fight. I turned on my heel. If Tosaka and Archer are going to rejoin the battle, I need to make a decision too. I need to go somewhere I can think alone.
斬新という言葉があるな。
Have you ever heard the word Zanshin before? Huh?
ことを済ませた後に保つ間のことだ。
It literally means lingering heart, and it's a concept dealing with the time you have after making your move.
私の弓術とお前の弓道で唯一共通しているものがそれだと思うのだが。
I feel it's the only thing my archery and your Kyudo discipline have in common. What? I didn't ask for a lecture on the 8 stages of shooting.
まあ聞け。矢を放った後、体は自然と場に止まるという。それを斬新というそうだな。
Just listen. They say the body remains in the same place after you shoot a bow. That's what Zanshin is. Yes, there are 8 movements in Kyudo called the Shaho Hasetsu, which are the 8 principles of shooting. The final step, Zanshin, is what follows after releasing your arrow. Yeah, what about it?
心構えの話だ。斬新とは己の行為。放った矢が的中するかを確かめるものではない。
I'm talking about preparedness. Zanshin is not about making sure your arrow strikes the target.
矢とは放つ前にすでに的中しているものだ。射手は自らのイメージ通りに指を離す。
An arrow has already struck its target by the time it's released. The shooter simply moves according to the image they envision.
ならば、当たるか当たらぬかなど確認する必要はない。
So they don't need to check whether it's hit or not.
射の前に当たらぬと思えば当たらぬし、当たると思えば当たっているのだから。
If, when you shoot, you think your arrow won't hit, it won't. If you believe it will, it will. That's absurd. No matter how much you might think a shot will hit, some shots won't. If all they had to do is think it will hit, everyone would hit every shot every time.
そうかな。少なくともお前は100発100中だろ。
Do you really think so? You, at least, hit the target every time. What? He catches me off guard there. I mean, he's right, but...
まあ、そんな話はどうでもいい。言いたいことは一つだけだ。斬新とは、矢が当たるかどうかを見極めるものではない。放った矢がどのような結果になるかなど、分かりきったことだからな。
Well, I don't care about that. The point I'm trying to make is this. Zanshin isn't about determining whether or not your arrow hits. Everyone knows what happens to the arrow they fire.
ならば、斬新とは、その結果を受け入れるための心構えではなかったか。
Zanshin is the mindset of accepting the consequences of the shot. I know that. You're telling me I need to follow through to the very end.
そういうことだ。セイバーのことは聞いた。彼女がこのような状態になるのは、初めから分かっていたことだろう。魔力の提供もなしで戦っていれば、いつかは消える。
Exactly. I heard what happened to Saber. She must have known something like this would happen from the start. Fighting without any chance of renewing her magical energy could only lead her to disappearing.
それはもう決まっていたことだ。
That was already determined. Then, all that's left is to accept the result. He's telling me that no matter what I decide, no matter what it does to Saber, all I can do is see it through. I turn my back to Archer. This time, I'm going to be the one to leave Archer hanging.
それともう一つ、気がついていないようだから教えておこう。
Oh, and one more thing. I'll go ahead and tell you since you don't seem to have figured it out. His voice comes from behind me.
セイバーはな、宝具を使えば自分が消えると分かっていたはずだ。彼女はおそらく最後まで宝具を使う気はなかったのだろう。
Saber must have known she would disappear if she used her noble phantasm. She probably never intended to use her noble phantasm in the first place. This time, I hear nothing of his usual sarcasm.
にもかかわらず、宝具を使った理由は一つ。
But she did use her noble phantasm. There can only be one reason for that.
セイバーは自身が消えることよりお前を守ることを選んだのだ。
Saber chose protecting you over keeping herself from disappearing.
それを決して忘れるな。
Never forget that. For once, his voice is completely sincere. He's only telling the truth here. Jak jede stream? Perfektně. OK, hezký talk s Archerem. To bylo nice. The park is empty as usual. Maybe because it's chillier than usual. There's hardly anyone out. It looks like I'm the only one walking around right now. I slump down onto a bench. Well, I came here to be alone. Now that I'm here, I should think of what to do next. I can't put my decision off any longer. If I want to defeat the other masters and end this Holy Grail war, I need Saber. That's not what this is about though. I just don't want to lose Saber. But that means I would have to have Saber attack people like Ryder did. I can't let her do that. Giving Saber that order is as good as telling her to die. Besides, I think she'd just refuse outright. But when my head slumps down, I see my left hand. I have 2 command spells left. If I use one, I can force Saber to obey me even if she refuses. I bite my lip and shake the thought off. It's ridiculous. Time slips by me as I sit on the bench. I have no idea how long I remain sitting here, but just as my fingers start to tremble from the cord. Ah! I thought I'd never see you again, but you're here. I look up, hearing a voice calling to me. Hehe. It really is you. Hello, Shiro. You look down. Did something happen? Ilya, did you come all the way here by yourself again? It's not safe. You never know where masters are lurking. I'm about to warn her that other masters might be lurking nearby, waiting to attack. I catch myself, realizing how stupid it would be. Ilya's a master. I shouldn't be worried about her. We are enemies. Sorry. I don't really have the time to talk right now. I know we bumped into each other, but I can't talk today. It's going to be really cold, so you should head home. I don't get up from the bench as I dismiss Ilya. There are plenty of things I would like to talk to her about, but I can't think of anything other than Saber right now. What's going on? Ilya doesn't say anything. She's looking at me as if I'm a stranger. Ilya? Sorry, I don't mean to be harsh. I've just got a lot on my mind right now. I know. Saber's about to disappear, right? And you're wondering what to do. Just out of nowhere, Ilya's voice has gotten so cold and detached. Ilya? Reveal. What a stupid thing to worry about. No wonder you let Ryder's master get away. You just need to kill losers like them. I move my feet. Something tells me this isn't the time to be sitting, so I shift my weight forward to get up. But my body doesn't move, as if I'm entranced by Ilya. Ilya? How do you know about that? There's not much to explain. I was there last night, at the building. I could only watch from inside though. I try to make my hands and feet move, but nothing happens. No, it feels like the more I try to move, the stiffer they get. It's those eyes. Whenever I see Ilya's red eyes, my senses go dull. Oh, you're already chained down. You really weren't on your guard at all. I thought it'd be easier to capture you if you were all alone. But you're so cute, getting caught so easily. Ilya, you... It's no use, brother. You can't move now. Soon you won't be able to talk, but there's nothing to worry about. I actually didn't come here to talk today either. Ilya's eyes blaze with murderous intent. This is Ilya, as I saw her the other night. Berserker's master. Do you plan to kill me right here? I grit my teeth and gather all my strength. But my fingers won't so much as budge. It's like Ilya's stare has frozen every nerve in my body.
いつまでもマスターにさせてられないわ。
Yep. There's no reason for you to remain a master, right? If Saber disappears, you'll be all alone. I can't have you go on being a master.
戦う手段がなくなったシローなんて簡単に殺せるんだから。
I can kill you easily if you have no other means to fight. Ilya raises her hand. Her slender, white fingers reach for my chest.
他の人に殺される前に見つけられ
It's a
てよ
little
かった。
fish eye. I'm glad I found you before the others killed you.
それじゃあおやすみなさい、お兄ちゃん。どうせセイバーも消えるんだから早い方がすっきりするでしょ。
So good night, brother. Saber's going to disappear anyway. So the sooner the better, right? Nehodím vypli televizi. My vision fades. My limbs have gone completely numb. Now I can't see either. How long have I been stuck in this darkness? Before I can figure out whether I'm alive or dead, I lose consciousness. My body is burning. Even if my consciousness has fallen into darkness, the burning in my body tells me I'm still alive. Yes, that must mean I'm still alive. Even so, it may only be temporary. Ilya even said it.
戦う手段のないシローなんて簡単に殺せるんだから。
I can kill you easily if you have no other means to fight. She's absolutely right. Without Saber, I can't fight a proper battle. A Holy Grail war is a battle between servants, and there's no way I can go up against servants. It's been proved more than enough by now. Each time I got absolutely thrashed. Like Saber said, all I can do against servants is try to survive for as long as possible. I couldn't even do that. I was cut to pieces and even thrown out a third-story window. It's only this weird, inexplicable thing going on with my body that's kept me alive. It's so frustrating. It makes me so angry. In the face of an unbeatable opponent, I couldn't stop the catastrophe in front of me on my own. Even though I decided to fight. I said I was going to fight as a master and vowed to not hurt anyone, but I couldn't even keep those promises. I'm pissed off. The champions of justice I strived to emulate when I was young always had to win, or there would be no point. My body is burning. Every inch of me trembles with the need to win. But I've neither the means to win or even a way to fight. What good am I? I can't even fight alongside Saber without bringing her down.
それも間違いだ。エミやシローは格闘には向かない。
Another mistake. You're not fit for fighting, Shiro Emiya.
お前の戦いは精神の戦い。
Your battle is supposed to be a mental one.
己との戦いであるべきだからだ。
A fight against your own self. Suddenly, I remember Archer saying that.
戦いになれば、エミやシローに勝ち目などない。
You haven't got a prayer of winning once the battle starts.
お前のスキルでは
None of your skills
何をやってもサーバントには通じない。
are worth a damn against servants. Kromě jeho vaření, já si, že kdyby začal pro všechny vařit, tak by byl peace. I know that. I've certainly been reminded more than enough.
ならば、せめてイメージしろ。
Then at least Then at least imagine it.
現実で叶わない相手なら想像の中で勝て。
If you can't possibly beat the opponent in reality, then beat them in your imagination.
自身が勝てないのなら勝てるものを幻想しろ。
If you can't win yourself, imagine something that can win. You don't have to remind me. I can only win in my own head. But what can I imagine that would ever help me win? I can't imagine beating a servant. I don't have such a wild imagination as to fool myself. Any fantasy I come up with will be full of loose threads that'll come unraveled. My third-rate imagination hasn't got a prayer against these incredible servants. That's why... Who do I win against? And how do I win? I'm still searching for that answer. Am I really searching for it? That golden sword. It's meant only for her. I don't want it for myself. It's just... It's so beautiful. Just once. I would like to hold it in my hands if I can. I guess this is just a bad habit I've picked up as an untrained mage. Since all I can do is look within myself, I tend to dream about stuff I shouldn't. I should at least be allowed to dream. Oh, Caliburn. First, I imagine the thing's basic structure, then reproduce it. Huh. I guess there's not much point in strengthening here. If strengthening is the act of applying something to an existing object, there's not much point in doing that to something that doesn't even exist. That means I need to work harder if I'm going to remember that sword. This is, well, before the basics. This is from before Kiritsugu taught me strengthening, a magecraft process that I thought up on my own, and packed with trivial steps. Let's see, how did I do it? How do I give it form? When I come to, I have no idea where I am. Where am I? This place isn't just unfamiliar. There's a luxurious canopy bed, and the plush carpet is ankle deep. The hodně deep carpet. There's even a stone fireplace, and it's clearly not just a decoration. When I initially take for wallpaper, I realize on inspection is actually patterns engraved on the wall. I've gotten used to fancy decorations like the ones in Shinji's mansion, but this is something else entirely. It's a little embarrassing to say this out loud, but this place is like a castle from a fairy tale. My vision blurs. My body feels strangely heavy. Maybe I'm having circulation problems or something. I feel like I might fall back asleep if I relax even a little. What the hell happened? I tried to get my clouded mind walking. Oh, right. Ilya paralyzed me and I just passed out. So Ilya's captured me. There's nobody in the room. My body feels heavy. But not so bad that I can't even lift a finger like before. If I really work at it, I might be able to lift an arm. What the? I'm tied up! My drowsy mind suddenly jolts to full alertness. I realize I'm in danger, and so I study my surroundings carefully. I'm in a chair. My hands are bound behind my back. I'm handcuffed. No. My wrists are just tied with rope. It's not as bad as I imagined, but I still can't move. My whole body is really tingly, and I can't get up with my arms tied behind me. I wonder how long I've been here. Is there a... No clock here. There's nothing in here to tell me what time it is. A window. There's a window behind me. I try to turn around to get a good look, but the curtains are closed, so I can't see outside. All I can say for sure is that the sun set. I ran into Ilya in the morning, so it's been at least half a day. I don't have time for this. I have no idea where I am, but I need to get back to Saber as fast as I can. Saber's in a weakened state. I can't be even more of a burden to her by letting something like this happen. Ugh. I try to make my arms move. If I'm going to escape, I have to do something about these ropes around my wrists. Ah! The door opens. It goes still just as Ilya enters the room. Oh, you finally woke up! Morning, brother! How are you feeling? Ilya's not acting at all like she had earlier. The coldness in her eyes is gone, and she's back to acting like the cheerful girl she has been at the park the other day. What's wrong? You don't look so good. You still can't move? That's weird. You should at least be able to talk by now. Ilya peers into my face, looking puzzled. She seems genuinely concerned for me. I'm fine, I can talk, and my mind's clear enough to understand that I've been captured. Oh? Are you complaining? Did you know prisoners are usually supposed to go into the basement cell? But I felt bad at the thought of doing that to you, so I brought you to my room. I don't know if that's good or bad, but at least I understand what's going on a little better. I'm getting a clearer picture of what happened. I've been captured and this is where you live. I speak flatly, trying to kill my emotions. Until I understand completely what's happening here, I just need to listen. That's right. Remember I told you I live in a castle in the forest? This is a castle in the middle of a big forest. There's nothing else around. It takes a few hours by car just to get to your city. There's no chance of rescue out here, and nobody will come bother us either. I see. Okay, but why did you do this? If you're going to kill me, you could have done it at the park. Why would I? I don't intend to kill you. You're mine. I'll kill the other masters, but you're special. I locked you up here so that nobody could bother us. Uh-oh. I find myself recoiling. Ilya pushes her face closer to mine, ignoring my agitation. Ilya, what are you... I know it's inappropriate, but the way Ilya sits on my lap has my heart racing. She may not be heavy, but the way she's sitting on my lap has me thinking. Kinda graphic thoughts. Boże, Shiro! Yep, I knew it. You're special, Shiro. Hey, want to be my servant? If you say you'll be my servant, I won't kill you. If you just nod, I'll spare you. Ilya's words are so pure and heartfelt. I know that if I nod even once, it'll be a choice I can't unmake. and I will absolutely come to regret it. On the other hand, if I refuse, that beauty will turn into pure wickedness. With Ilya leaning so close, my mind grinds to a shrieking halt. She's not saying this just because she likes me. Check. OK, pořád to jede v pohodě, menší lagy, ale v pohodě. This is more like an interrogation, a matter of whether I want to live or die. This is a no-brainer. You don't have saber anymore. You don't have a way of fighting. That means there's no reason for you to remain a master. No, saber hasn't disappeared yet, and I'm not going to let it happen. Oh really? But it would be so easy to kill you in your state. Just give in and stay here. If you stay by my side forever, I'll protect you forever. Ilya presses close against me. I'm not sure what'll happen if I refuse, but I still can't agree. I can't. Step away, Ilya. No matter what you say, Ilya presses her index finger to my lips. She giggles in amusement and watches me in my bewilderment. You really don't understand. Listen, you're like a bird in a cage. It's my decision whether to keep you alive or kill you. You shouldn't say anything that might make me mad. I waited 10 years for this. Killing you quickly would just be boring. What? Ilya talks like she's asking for a toy. The sheer cold-heartedness in her voice sends a shiver down my spine. This is your last chance, brother. I'm only asking this one more time. Ilya's eyes shine with hope. Shiro, be mine. Ilya's tone is bewitching and brooks no refusal. Oh! Okay, takže dostaneme decision. Ukaž mi, jak zatím jde flowchart. No teď to nás určitě povede k smrti, takže I'll have to agree for now. I don't know how serious Ilya is. I'm sure telling me to be her servant is some sort of a metaphor. And even if she makes me her familiar, nothing's going to change. I still won't be of any use, and besides, Ilya has berserker. Ilya doesn't have any kind of use for a half-assed mage like me. Answer me. Will you be with me? Ilya's voice practically brims with expectation. And so Fine, I'll be your familiar. I lie evasively for the time being. Okay, this is exciting. We'll be together forever, brother. What? Ilya starts jumping up and down. She must be really excited. I feel guilty. Ilya's holding me prisoner, so I had to lie. But I feel bad seeing her so happy, so maybe I can indulge Ilya a little bit. Huh? A wave of dizziness crashes over me. An invisible weight settles across my shoulders. Ilya. Increasingly uneasy, I find myself calling out to her.
手首の縄ならすぐに取ってあげるね。
What is it, Shiro? Oh, I'll undo the restraints on your wrists for you. Ah, that's not why. I just feel a little sick. Sudden nausea grips me and I find myself gasping for breath.
何？気分が悪くなって体が重くて不安でしょうがないの？
What is it? Do you feel sick? Does your body feel like it's weighing you down? Do you have this indescribable sense of anxiety? She smiles. It's a cruel smile, like she sees right through me. Ilya.
そう、シロのことならもう何でもわかるよ。だって私と契約したんだもの。
Yep, I know everything about you, because you formed a contract with me.
シロはね、もう私に隠し事なんてできないの。
So now you can't hide anything from me. Oh god. The strange sense of unease drives me to my feet. It's not at all like the more immediate fear her presence caused in the past. But my body refuses to move. This isn't Ilya's magical energy affecting me. My body just can't move. Ilya, what did you...
何かしたのはシロ自身よ。気分が悪いのは私に嘘をついたから。シロは優しいから自分で自分を傷つけたの。
You did this to yourself. You feel sick because you lied to me. You're a nice person, so you just hurt yourself.
けど、そうね。さっきのは少ししか気持ちが入ってなかったから、もう一度聞いてあげる。
But, well, you didn't really put your heart into your last response, so I'll ask again.
お兄ちゃんは私のものになったのよね。
Shiro, you're mine now, right? The weight on my back digs into me, seeming to squirm into my skin.
ほら、認めてシロ。あなたの魂はもう私のものになったんだって。
Come on, admit it, Shiro. Your soul is already mine. I hear myself wheezing. My mouth opens on its own, forming words in quick, shallow breaths. Oh, I'll be Ilya's Ilya.
イリアスフィールの名においてエミやシロを受け入れたわ。
Yes, I, Ilyasfeel, have accepted you, Shiro Emiya.
シロの魂ちゃんと捕まえたんだから。
Now I have your soul, Shiro. Ilya, I need to get up. I need to tear off these ropes. I need to run as far and as fast as I can. If she's in the way, I just need to punch her or something to force her aside. Otherwise, I don't even want to think about what might happen to me. Yeah, I'm in such a dire situation, yet for some reason, I can't move. My limbs don't even react, as if to tell me I'm no longer in control of my own body.
ああ、心配しなくていいよシロ。今のシロは体に送る命令を全部シャットアウトされてるだけだから。
Oh, don't worry, Shiro. I've just shut off all the commands going to your body for now.
その体はシロの魂を機能させるだけのものにして、すぐに新しい体を用意させるわ。
For now, your body's just keeping your soul alive. I'll have a new body to serve as a container for it soon.
人間の体は壊れやすいから、壊れてもいいものに意識を転送してあげるの。
Human bodies are so fragile. So I'm going to transfer your consciousness to something else. So it won't matter even if it breaks.
ああ、けどシロにいてもわからないか。
Oh, but it won't matter if I tell you anyway.
説明しても実感湧かないだろうし、習うより慣れろね。
I doubt you'd understand even if I did explain it to you. Getting used to it yourself will probably be better than being told.
から適当な人形を持ってきて。
Seta, Reiserito, I'm going to start a port now, so bring me some sort of a doll for a container. I can't even talk anymore. I'm physically here, but it feels like I'm watching everything that's happening through a screen.
お待たせいたしましたお嬢様。アポートを行うとのことですが。
Here you are, milady. So we are to perform an apport, you say?
ええ、本当は来たくないけど、万が一にも失敗したくないから転移を使うわ。リズ、用意はできてる？
Yes. I really don't want to wear it, but I'm going to put on the dress of heaven because I don't even want the chance of messing up. Liz, can you prepare it?
できてるけど本当にいいのイリア。
It's done. But are you sure, Ilya?
何を？出来損ないのくせに意見するの？リゼリット。私は悪くないもん。シローが自分で言ったんだから使い魔にしてもいいんだもん。
What did you just say? Is it defective like you trying to give me her opinion? I'm not in the wrong here. Shiro said okay, so I can make him my familiar.
はい。お嬢様に落ち度などありません。
No, you are not in the wrong, milady.
リーゼリット、言葉が過ぎますよ。このような人間一人、どうなろうと構いません。いえ、むしろお嬢様の奇跡に触れられるのですから、身に余る至福でしょう。
Rezerito, please watch your mouth. We needn't concern ourselves with a mere human like him. If anything, he should be honored, even grateful to be able to experience such a miracle.
セラ、イリアに甘い。そういうの逆効果だって分かってる？
You indulge Ilya too much. Do you realize that might not be such a good thing?
リーゼリット、お嬢様をそのようにお呼びするのはやめなさい。イリアスフィール様はアインツベルンの奇跡を後継するお方。私たちのような失敗作とは違うのですよ。
Rezerito, refrain from calling Milady by her name. Miss Ilyasphere is the successor of the Einsband's miracle. She is nothing like such failures as us.
はあ、イリア、始めよ。セラってうるさいよね。
Ilya, let's begin. Sella's annoying.
リーゼリット。
Rezerito. The calmer of the two women who appear to be maids approaches me. Liz, or the woman called Rezerito, says,
ごめんね。君、もうその入れ物には戻れないよ。
I am sorry. You can't go back to that vessel anymore. My vision goes black like someone's just flipped a
そ
switch.
れとお嬢様、森に何者かが侵入したようですが、いかがいたしましょう。バーサーカーを向かわせますか？
Oh yes, milady. It seems someone has entered the forest. What would you like to do? Shall we send out Berserker? I only hear voices. This is so strange. My consciousness is not connected to my limbs, and my senses are disconnected. If my body and senses have no connection, then how the hell am I hearing
ま
voices?
さかせっかく来てくれたんだからちゃんともてなしてあげないと失礼でしょ。バーサーカーはもちろんあなたたちも姿を隠してなさい。
Of course not. They came all the way over here, so it would be rude of us not to show them our hospitality. You two, as well as Berserker, should hide.
リンとセーバーには私のものになった白を見てもらうの。それが済んだらあとはバーサーカーの好きにさせるわ。
I'm going to show off my Shiro when Rim and Saber arrive. I'll let Berserker do whatever he wants after. She giggles. I feel nothing, and yet I feel like someone's taking my arm. I'm feeling faint. I don't know what will happen to me next, but it seems my fight has already ended. Aww. Bad end. Koukneme se na jedno Tiger Dojo.
今さら言うまでもないと思うけど、バッドエンドで苦し今回はなはい手向かえるかこの悪魔っ子。まったくあなたそれに星派もイカのお姫様に囲われるっていうのもタイガやリンやサクラにはどう
そんなに来るわ。
そういうわけでシロは私と堕落した蜜月を過ごまあ早い話ボツになったが先輩きついっす。思い上がるなブルマ。あ、こらそこ一番弟子をいじめない。
What the fuck?
また逃げる。あ、いりゃあらそれじゃあみんな今回も聞かぬ。人形みんなそれまでは我慢してセイバーやリンに付き合ってね。
I can't do that. I don't need to even think about it. And shit, even I only have so much patience. Every single one of them is sure Saber's going to disappear. Saber won't disappear. I'm going to fight with her until the end. I can't let this destroy the oath we made. Ilya, I can't do what you're asking me to. I have Saber. As long as Saber's around, I'm going to keep on fighting as a master. A soft gasp. For a second, her red eyes snapped open as if she had just gone into rigor mortis. Oh, so you're going to betray me too, Shira. Ilya backs away. She looks down but maintains her composure. Fine. If you're not going to listen to me, I'm not going to listen to you either. I've been letting you do whatever you want, but it ends now. Ilya's voice is dripping with hostility now. There's something terrible lurking behind that malice. Wait right here. I'll just be a minute. Wait, what are you going to do, Ilya? Oh, nothing. I'm just going to go kill Saber and Rin. If I kill the two of them, that would make you feel kind of guilty, right? What? Don't be ridiculous. Saber and Tosak have nothing to do with this. I'm only saying I can't be with you for my own reasons. Oh, really? Well, I'm still killing them. Once that's over, it'll be your turn. If you won't be mine, you're useless to me. I hear Ilya's footsteps moving off. Ilya's serious. She really means to go kill Saber and Tosaka. Stop, Ilya! Saber and Tosaka have nothing to do with this. I'm the one you captured. So if you're going to hate someone, just hate me. You don't need to kill them. Stream jde krásně. I have a reason. I can't leave any other master alive. Isn't that how the Holy Grail Wars work? You dummy, don't talk about killing people like it's so easy. You shouldn't ever do that. You're a kid. You shouldn't even be thinking about this kind of thing. Ilya stares at me in disbelief. Too late. I've already killed the master, brother. She sounds so joyful as she says it. Yesterday, though, I thought you're going to take care of him, so I didn't expect to do it. What? In that instant, I, surprisingly, understand exactly what she's talking about. Ilya was in the building last night, which means she must have seen the master running for his life as the perfect prey. Ilya, you didn't.
ごめんね。シロがやらないから私がやっちゃった。本当は横取りって好きじゃないんだけど。
Sorry, I only did it because you didn't. I don't actually like taking other people's stuff. She doesn't sound guilty at all. It probably meant nothing to her. It makes me realize something. I've probably known this since the moment we first met. She doesn't really know the difference between good and evil. That innocent laugh is just as much Ilya as the merciless laugh I hear now. It's not that Ilya has a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other. Ilya, however angelic she may look, is a devil.
それじゃあ帰ってきたらシロの番なんだから、せいぜい逃げ出す努力でもしていなさい。
Well, I'm off. When I get back, it'll be your turn, so do your best to escape.
もっとも、カゴから逃げ出せないから、小鳥は小鳥なの。
Then again, a little bird in captivity will remain in captivity, because it can't escape.
お兄ちゃんじゃ、この鳥カゴからは出られないでしょうけど。
Knowing you, you won't be able to escape this little cage. Ilya leaves. She's absolutely right, of course. She knows nothing of threats or tactics, so she just says what's true. But I can't stay here forever. I need to escape and meet up with Saber before Ilya can attack her. I shake myself, trying to loosen the ropes around my wrists. Maybe she really doesn't think I can escape. There's no one else here. If I'm not being watched, even I can manage to get out of some ropes, but... Damn, I still can't. My body just won't listen to me. My limbs move, but they're heavy as lead, and just trying to move at all is exhausting. Ilya knew I couldn't escape because of this. I can't move like this. Even if I get out of the rope, I won't be able to escape the room if I can hardly move. My whole body feels heavy, not because I'm tired. Yeah, I haven't been able to move since I looked into Ilya's eyes. They must be mystic eyes. I hear truly superior mages can perform some sort of magecraft just by making eye contact with their target. Restraint is a common effect of mystic eyes, so that's probably what's going on here. Eyes are how we take in visual information, and so are susceptible to suggestion and spells. And that is why most mages employ some sort of protection to their eyes, to block out other masters' magecraft. Dosaka would be so mad if she found out all it took to paralyze me was a suggestion, not even a spell. Well, at least that was for Mystic Eyes, learned through Magecraft. Some monsters are born with Mystic Eyes and don't even need to lock eyes with their target. I hear all they need to do is look to use whatever ability they have. But it's also extremely rare for people to have powers like that. And... luckily, Ilya's Mystic Eyes aren't unique or special, they're just a means of sending magical energy at a target. And that means there has to be a way to dispel the effect. Ilya's magical energy is invading my nerves, preventing me from moving. If I can get rid of their magical energy, that should fix my paralysis. It's simple, if there's a buildup of mud, all I have to do is flush it out to clean it out. I close my eyes and focus inward on my own body. I may not have the skill to detect and remove foreign magical energy that's invaded my body, but I don't need anything like that, so long as I'm dealing with magical energy that hasn't become a curse and taking root in my body. If Ilya's magical energy is lingering, stagnant in my body, I just need a strong flow of magical energy through my body to flush it out. Sorry, it's crude, but it's all I can do. I apologize to my body for what I'm about to put it through. All I have to do is focus on my daily routine, the ritual where I force a foreign nerve down my spine. No, not anymore. I don't need to build it from scratch anymore. No, now all I have to do is flip the switch in my head. Instead of creating a magic circuit in my body, I just have to switch my nerves into a magic circuit. Tres, un. I murmured a spell to focus myself. You don't use spells to change the world around you. They're to be used on yourself to empower you to change the world. For mages, there's a way to initiate a kind of self-transformation. Spells are the first, most basic magecraft used to create a mystic just for you, a command that will only work on you. Basic structure, analysis. My blood flow accelerates. Power builds in my blood. My body is becoming a machine for circulating magical energy. Probably thanks to the gem Tosaka made me swallow. Normally this would take me at least an hour. Now I'm able to do it almost instantly. Composition, analysis. I don't even need to flip the switch at this rate. I can just let the magical energy circulate and let my hands go. Actually, I say flip the switch, but I still haven't found the switch to begin with. Heat rushes into me. I try to get control over my pounding heart, and my hands slip from the bucking reins. Gah! Blood spurts from my mouth. I must have opened a vein or torn something inside myself. I channeled enough magical energy to flush out the mud that had invaded me, so it's no wonder I'm throwing up blood. Luckily, I don't feel any pain. Maybe I'm not in pain because of that self-healing thing I have. It's an abnormality of my body, but that I still don't understand, but I'm delighted to have it at a time like this. The ability to heal any non-fatal wounds is my biggest and only strength right now. I do need to be careful not to rely on it too much though. Since I still have no idea how it works, relying on it too much risks losing it all. So I can't rely on miracles I don't understand. Okay, now there's just the rope. I undo the rope. My wrists were bruised, but I wasn't bound tightly enough to cut off circulation. I don't think Ilya tied me up, but I wasn't bound very tightly. Besides, I doubt it was Ilya who carried me in here anyway. Who here, other than Ilya, might not be all that strong? It definitely wasn't Berserker. If he had tied me up, he would have snapped my hands right off. I rise to my feet as I try to crack a joke. Ouch. I can control my body, but I have pushed it too far. While I may not be injured, magical energy is raging through my body. As moving around is likely to tear my insides up. It's probably the pain. Dizziness and nausea wag my entire body, and I have no feeling at the ends of my arms and legs. I'm not going to get home before Ilya gets back. Not like this. Am I being such a coward? I don't have the time for that kind of thinking. I slap my cheeks and start walking. What? As soon as I lean against the wall, I start toward the door. I hear something on the other side of the wall. Footsteps. More than one set of footsteps. People are approaching my door and talking. They stop right in front of my door. Someone's on patrol. Damn. And at the worst possible moment. There's no time to hide. I need to... Ah. Okay, tady asi zase zemřem. No, tady je srdíčko. Victory goes to the one who makes the first move. I need to fight. I can't hide, and I don't have the time for that anyway. I need to get back out there just as fast as I can and get back to Saber. The door opens. I push myself up against the wall right behind the door. Huh? The scout opens the door but doesn't enter the room. Hold on. The chair is visible from the entrance, even without coming in. Whoever is speaking in will know what's going on just from seeing the empty chair where I'm supposed to be sitting. Ah! Crap. If they call for backup right now, escaping will get a lot harder. I'm just going to have to hurry out and take on whoever's on patrol. I push off from the wall and rush toward the door, and then They must have figured out I was hiding, because they step into the room as soon as I jump out. No, take that! No chance of stopping now. Whoever I'm up against, I just need to knock them out and escape.
動くな。おとなしくしていれば命までは。シロ。
Oh! To jsem nečekal. Tak dobrý. Halt! If you comply, I may spare your... Shiro? I freeze. My mind goes blank. The very person I have to go save is standing right in front of me. Saber? How? Why are you here?
どうしてなんて、そんなことは言うまでもないでしょう。サーバントがマスターを守るのに理由はいりません。シローが囚われたのなら、助けに来るのは当然ではないですか。
Why? I should hardly need to tell you. Servants need not explain their need to protect their masters. It is my duty to come to your aid, knowing you have been captured. Well, but how did you know I got captured? Or actually, why are you here, Saber? This is Ilya's hideout. You shouldn't be coming anywhere near here right now.
それは私のセリフです。あなたこそ何をやっていたのですか?
I should be the one asking you. What were you thinking?
一人で行動するなどあれほど言っていたのに、やすやすとイリアスフィールに拉致され、このような場所に監禁されるなんて。
I have repeatedly told you to never go out alone, but you allowed Ilyasphere to capture you, easily at that, and bring you here.
シローはマスター失格です。この件については、何らかの謝罪をしてもらわなければ気が済みません。
You have failed as a master. I insist you make an apology for this. I know I was scandalous, but seriously, why are you here? You can barely move, so what were you thinking coming to Ilya's stronghold in this state?
あなたこそ何を考えているのです。
I could ask the same of you.
サーバントはマスターを守るもの。シローが囚われたのですから、イリアスピールの本拠地だろうと関係はありません。
Servants protect their masters. It does not matter where you were taken, even Ilyasphere's stronghold. Saber is blunt as ever. She's exactly as she's always been. This isn't the weak, slumbering Saber from last night.
シロー、どうしたのです？急に黙り込んで。やはり捕まっている間に傷を負ったのですか?
Shiro, why have you climbed up? I knew it. You are injured in your captivity. No, that's not it. Don't worry about me. I'm just glad to see you doing better. I'm genuinely relieved. I'm surprised to see Saber here, but I'm much happier to see that she's herself. I know it's selfish of me to think this way, but I think this is how Saber should be. I'm sorry, Saber. I don't fully understand, but you came to rescue me, right?
はい。サーバントとしてマスターを救うのは当然ですから。
Oh, yes. It is a servant's duty to rescue her master. Thanks. I'm really glad you came. What a relief. Even everything sorted itself out. Now I just need to get out of here with Saber. Wait a minute. Is that Tosaka? Tosaka? Are you real? And are you really right here?
思ったより元気そうじゃない。これじゃあ私たちが出向く必要もなかったかしら。
You look better than I thought you would. Maybe I didn't need to come.
だからそう言っただろう、リム。エミやシロなど放っておけと。
That's what I said, Rin. I told you to just leave Shiro Emiya be.
この手の男はな、周りに迷惑をかけるだけかけて、自分だけは生き延びるのだ。今回のはいい機会だった。見捨てておけば、勝手に死んでくれたものを。
All he does is cause trouble for everyone around him, then somehow survive himself. This would have been a perfect opportunity to just leave him to die on his own.
聞き捨てなりません、アーチャー。
Please, Archer, hold your tongue.
助力を頼んだのは私ですが、あなたにシロを侮辱する権利などないはずです。
I ask for your help, yes, but that does not give you the right to insult Shiro.
いざ主が助かればそれか。マスターもマスターなら、サーバントもサーバントだ。 協力者に対するありがたみなどないようだな。
Huh. You talk big now that your master's safe. First the master, then the servant. They don't have an ounce of gratitude for their own allies.
ま、いずれ戦う身だ。情など持たれない方がやりやすくはあるが。
Sorry. Well, we are going to end up fighting eventually. It's probably best not to have too much in the way of fond feelings. He must have hit a nerve as Saber growls silently. This guy. He's not just unfriendly to me, he treats Saber the same way.
そこまでよ。今がどんな状況なのか忘れてるわけじゃないでしょうね、あーちゃん。
Enough. I hope you haven't forgotten the situation we're all in right now, Archer.
おしゃべりなんてしてる暇はないわ。イリアスフィールが戻ってくる前に撤退しないと。
We don't have time for bickering. We need to get out of here before Idiosphere comes back. Huh? Wait a minute. You came here knowing this is where Ilya lives, and actually, Ilya left saying she was going to kill Tosaka and Saber. That means Ilya and Tosaka passed each other. That's a relief. I think Ilya's headed to my place right now. If you guys hadn't come here, you would have had to fight her there.
ええ、そうみたいね。イリアとバーサーカーが外に出たのは確認したわ。まあ、そうでもなければこんなところまで忍び込まないけど。
Yeah, looks that way. I did see Ilya and Berserker head outside. Though I must admit that if they hadn't left, we wouldn't have been able to sneak in here in the first place. I get it. Saber and Tosaka only managed to pull something so bold off because they saw Ilya leave. She's bold as ever, but this time, that brazenness worked out to our advantage. I'm impressed.
とにかく話は後よ。ここがアインツベルンのアジトって分かった時は覚悟してきたけど、合わないならそれに越したことはないでしょ。
We'll talk later. I braced myself, knowing that this was the Einsburn's hideout. But it would be much better if we could avoid confronting any of them at all.
セイバーがそんな調子じゃ、バーサーカーには太刀打ちできないしね。
And Saber's in no state to go up against Berserker right now. Tosaka gestures for me and Saber to separate. Tosaka, what do you mean Saber's in no state? She's got her color back and she's acting like herself.
あなたね、そんな都合のいい話があるわけないでしょ。
You should really know better than to be so blindly optimistic.
セイバーは全く回復してないわ。立っているだけが精一杯って見てわからない？
Saber hasn't recovered at all. Can't you see that she's barely able to stand?
リン、それは黙っていると約束したはずです。
Rin, you promised to keep that to yourself.
悪いわね。そんなの破棄よ。黙っていてもマイナスなだけだし、そもそも隠し通せる問題じゃないわ。
Sorry, I need to go back on my word. Keeping quiet won't help anyone, and this isn't a secret we can keep forever anyway.
それはそうですが、しかし。
That may be true, but she sounds so pained, and now I see nothing has changed about her situation. Saber, is Tosaka telling the truth?
はい。リンの言うことは正しい。恥ずかしい話ですが、今の私ではセイバーとして戦うことはできません。
Yes.
できることといえば、シローの盾になることぐらいでしょうか。
Yes, Rin is correct. It is embarrassing to admit, but I'm in no position to fight as a saber right now. At best, I can be your shield.
そんなことだろうと思ったわ。武装もできないぐらい弱ってるくせに、一緒に行くって聞かないんだもの。
I figured as much. She's too weak to even armor herself up, but she insisted she come with us.
戦えない代わりにマスターをかばおうとでも思ったんでしょう。
She probably figured she'd defend her master even if she couldn't really fight. What? She's so weak, she can't even arm herself. She was willing to become my shield since she couldn't fight. What kind of absurd nonsense is she saying?
すまないシロー。このような体ではサーバント失格だとは分かっていますが、それでも盾の役割はできます。
I am sorry, Shiro. Fuck.
今はそれで。
I am sorry, Shiro. I know I'm useless as a servant in my current state, but I can at least be your shield. I know this is not ideal for you, but it is the only... Oh, come on. Why does Saber never think about herself? Why is she only ever worried about everyone else? To hell with that. Of course I'm not happy. Tosaka, why did you bring Saber? Don't you realize Saber needs more help than me right now?
何よ、私だって反対したわよ。けどセイバーはどうしてもって聞かないし、そもそもセイバーじゃないとあんたの居場所はわからなかったわ。危険なのは100も承知だけど、それでもセイバーは必要だったの。
Okay, frame pořád v pohodě. What? I tried to stop her. Saber refused to listen and we wouldn't have been able to pinpoint where you were without her in the first place. I know it was risky, but we needed Saber. Fuck.
何よ、私だって反対したわよ。
But she's still...
セイバーはどうしてもって聞かないし、そもそもセイバーじゃないとあんたの居場所はわからなかったわ。危険なのは100も承知だけど、それでもセイバーは必要だったの。
I want to tell her she shouldn't have brought Saber, but I stopped myself. I have no business criticizing. This is only happening because I went and got captured. Tosaka and Saber were just doing what they thought was right.
口喧嘩も結構だがな。今はそこまでにしておけ、リン。
Enough squabbling. Just leave it alone for now, Rin.
マスターならば自分の住処の異常には敏感だろう。悠長に説明している暇はないぞ。
Masters are sensitive to any changes in their homes, so we don't have time to explain every detail just now.
そうね。イリアスフィールのやつ、今頃慌てて戻ってきている頃だものね。
You're right. Ilia's sphere must be surprised we're gone, so she's probably coming back real quick.
いいわ。話は後にしてあげる。今はこの城から出ることが先決よ。それでいいわね、城。
Fine, let's talk later. Right now our priority is getting out of this castle. Are you okay with that, Shiro?
城、私たちも。
Shiro, we should... Yeah, but... If Saber is as bad as she was last night, it'll be hard for her to even walk right now. I don't want to push Saber any harder than I have already.
まったく。どうやら私も甘く見られたものですね。
Honestly, you all underestimate me. Eh, Saber?
いくら魔力が尽きているとはいえ、今でもシローよりは戦えます。私から見れば、シローの方こそ消えてしまいそうで怖い。
Even low on magical energy, I can still fight better than Shiro. If anything, I am more concerned about Shiro disappearing.
リンは気がついていないようですが、体内の魔力が乱れているのではないですか。
Rin may not have noticed, but your magical energy is disordered, is it not? Huh? Well, this is nothing. I can manage. Well, I'm totally fine, really.
では、私もシローと同じです。苦しいですが、我慢しきれないものではありません。
Then we are in the same state, you and I. I may be slightly uncomfortable, but it is not unbearable.
突然のことで状況がつかめないと思いますが、今はリンに従いましょう。話をするのなら、それは家に帰ってからです。
This may all be difficult to accept given how quickly it has happened, but let us follow Rin for now. We can discuss this further once we have returned home. Saber encourages me to go. I give up. She looks so serious, so determined that I can't worry anymore. You're right. There are tons of things I want to talk about, but they can wait until we all get home safely. I want to ask about Saber's condition, and I want to thank her for coming to rescue me. But now isn't the time to ask about the dream I had. Okay, let's go, Saber. I nod and get moving as best I can. Every step is a supreme effort, but this isn't the time for whining. Even weakened as she is, Saber came all the way here. Whoa, is this a hallway? This corridor wouldn't be out of place in a museum. Ilia's castle must be massive.
ちょっと見とれてる場合じゃないわよ。この城から出ても外は一面樹海なんだから急がないと朝になるわ。
Hey, no time to gawk. Even if we make it out of the castle, the forest surrounding is huge. If we don't hurry, it'll be morning before we're out. A forest? So are we really in the mountains? Are you talking about the forest that's a couple of hours from Myanmar by car?
そう。アインツベルンの隠し城よ。
Yep. Here in the Einsburn's secret
こ
castle.
の城から出た後、何時間もかけて森を抜けなくちゃならないの。今は夜だし、朝日が昇るまでには森を抜けるわよ。
Once we make it out, it'll take a few hours to get through the forest. It's nighttime right now, so we should be out of the forest before the sun rises. Okay, pořád v pohodě, super. Hodinu a půl už streamujeme. Tosaka heads through the hallway, not hesitating for a moment. She's probably heading toward whatever door they snuck in through. I figured it was night, but how long have I been here? I thought it was just about half a day, but maybe it's actually been a few days. Oh, toto spíš ne.
がイリアスフィールに囚われたのは朝方でしょ。
No.
それから半日が経過しています。
Iliosphere captured you in the morning, so it's been about half a day.
日付は変わってしまいましたから、形の上では丸一日囚われていたことになりますね。
Though the date has changed, so you have spent a day in captivity, I suppose. I see. Sorry.
いいえ、そのようなことはありません。イリアスフィールに捕まってこれだけの時間が過ぎたというのに、シロは無事でした。体は囚われの身でも、心では負けなかった証ではないですか。
No, please do not apologize. Iliosphere held you captive for a considerable amount of time, but you are still safe. That must be proof that you did not submit mentally, even though your body was captive. Well, that may be true, but...
ええ。イリアスフィールは少女に見えても、アインツベルンの魔術師です。もし彼女に屈していたのなら、シローはシローではなくなっていたでしょう。
Yes, Iliosphere may look like a young girl, but she is still an Einsburn mage. Had you submitted to her, you would likely no longer be yourself.
私とて、その可能性を考慮しなかったわけではありません。最悪、あなたは死んでいるものと覚悟して、この城に足を踏み入れたのです。
And it is not as if I did not consider that possibility. I came to this castle fully prepared to find you dead.
だから、ここでシローと再会できてよかった。
Which is why I was so glad to reunite with you, Shiro.
マスターが無事な姿を見せているのですから、私も負けるわけにはいきません。
My master has shown me that he is alright, so I cannot possibly show myself to be any worse off. I feel the same. I couldn't stand knowing if Saber was safe or not.
ちょっと、やる気あるのかっていうのよ。
Hey, you two are serious about escaping, right?
もたもたしてると本気で先に行くからね。
If you guys fall behind, I'm gonna leave you. Tosaka pops her head off the bend, from the bend of the corridor to yell at us. Crap, this really isn't the time for us to chat. Let's hurry, Saber. I break into a run, urging Saber to do the same. Everything hurts, but I grit my teeth and keep going. Oh no. Jsem rád, že farmím tu Saber. I drive my aching body on, following Tosaka. As I half limp, half run, Saber brings up the rear. She must be in a lot of pain too. She's pretending not to be, but she's in no condition for this. Saber, if it's hard for you, I want to tell her I'll give her a helping hand, but I stop myself. Saying that will just make Saber dig in her heels and be more determined not to accept help. All I can do is keep an eye on her. Once Saber's too exhausted to complain, I'll just carry her. Honestly, Saber can be incorrigible sometimes. Incorrigible. She has to be forced to even take a break. And so, with Tosaka leading the way, we managed to get to the exit. Hey, you said this was an exit, but this is the entrance to Osaka.
何当たり前のこと言ってるのよ。玄関っていうのはそういうものでしょ。入る時も出る時もここが一番手っ取り早いんだから。
Huh? What are you on about? You didn't know that you can go in and out of entrances, right? Tosaka hurries down the stairs. Well, I'm in no position to complain. Saber and I head down the stairs and into the hall. It looks like a lobby. All we have to do now is head out through the big door and the other end of the hall, and we're out.
よし、ここまで来たら大丈夫。問題は森に出てからだけど、まあ夜だし、闇に乗じて国道まで出られるかな。
Okay, we should be okay now, but we've come this far. The problem now is how we get through the forest. We might be able to use the cover of darkness to reach the main road.
イリアスフィールが戻ってきて、シロがいないって気づいたところで、後の祭りよ。
We really don't want to be here when Iliasphere comes back and finds you're gone.
あいつが帰ってくる頃には朝になっちゃってるしね。何よ、シロ、その顔。いかにも服装だけど。
By the time she comes back, it'll be morning. Hey, what's with that look, Shiro? You've obviously got a problem. Nothing. Just kind of remembering how ballsy you are.
変なところでおかしな確認するのね、あなた。
Huh? You have the weirdest thoughts at the weirdest times. Well, I was more getting at her just walking into the enemy stronghold through the front door.
まあいいわ。とにかく外に出ましょう。帰り道は覚えているから迷うこともないしね。
Well, whatever. Let's just head out. I remember the way back from here, so we won't get lost. We head towards the entrance. A long, narrow hall extends from the lobby, and at the end of it is an enormous door. The hall is unbelievably about 30 meters long. I'm reminded that we are standing in an actual castle, but in the next moment.
なんだ、もう帰っちゃうの？せっかく来たのに残念ね。
Oh, going home already? What a shame! After you came all the way here. Ilia shouldn't be here, but her giggling voice echoes up and down the hall. I whirl around. Everyone skids to a stop. The instant we see our enemy, we know we're dead as soon as we turn our backs to them. Ilia Sphere. Tosaka's voice trembles. Back at the other end of the hall, we see her standing at the top of the stairs we just descended. She shouldn't be here. Ironically, it's a similar arrangement to our first meeting. Ilia standing above us with Berserker behind her. Berserker's presence is overwhelming. Now that I can assess a servant's strength, I understand what a monster he really is. We can't do this. Even if Saber was at full strength, Berserker is just too powerful. It wouldn't even be a battle. That monster can't be beat, not in a fight. If we are ever going to beat Berserker, we have to figure out how to do it without fighting him. In other words, if we want to live, we need to stay far away from Berserker.
こんばんは。あなたの方から来てくれて嬉しいわ、リン。
Good evening. I'm so happy you came to see me, Rin. Ilia's voice is cheerful and bouncy. She's smiling that same smile I saw the night we met. Innocent but merciless. Merciless. She won't settle to squash us like bugs. And that's when I realized we're not going to escape. Period. No matter what I do, I can't stop Ilia. Even if I try to draw Ilia's attention, that won't let Tosaka and the others escape.
どうしたの？黙っていちゃつまらないわ。せっかく時間をあげてるんだから、遺言ぐらい残した方がいいと思うな。
What's wrong? You're so boring when you keep your mouth shut. I'm giving you some time, so I suggest writing a will while you still can. She giggles, but we don't have time for these kinds of games. We need to run to the entrance the second we can find an opening. Even if we know we'll never get an opening, all we can do is wait and hope.
じゃあ一つ聞いてあげる。
Then, let me ask you one thing. Even in this situation, Tosaka takes a step closer towards
リリア
Ilya.
スフィール、あんたが戻ってきた気配はなかったけど、もしかしてずっと隠れてたのかしら？
Ilyasfir, I didn't sense your presence coming back. Were you hiding this entire time?
そうよ。私はどこにも行っていないわ。私はね、ここからあなたたちの道化ぶりを眺めていただけ。
Yes, I didn't go anywhere. I was watching all of you make fools out of yourselves from here.
そう。外に出て行ったのは偽物ってわけ。
Oh, really? So that wasn't the real you heading outside?
ええ、あなたたちが来ることは分かってたもの。
Right, I knew you were coming.
私は主人なんだから、お客様のおもてなしをしないといけないでしょ。
I'm the lord of this place, so I should entertain my guests, right? Right then, the giant vanishes. I'm not sure if it jumped or just moved. The next thing I know, Berserker appears in the middle of the lobby, creating a whirlwind. This is the end for us. If we retreat towards the entrance, he'll slice us in half with an axe sword at the moment we turn our backs to him. But we are dead if we stay here too. Our only other option is to challenge that walking mass of death, however futile it will be.
おしゃべりはおしまい。それじゃあ始めよっか、バーサーカー。
Are we done talking? Then let's begin, Berserker. The pale girl raises her hand as if performing a ritual and looks down on us.
誓うわ。今日は一人も逃がさない。
I swear I won't let anyone get away today. Her declaration is equal parts murderous intent and delight. Berserker's eyes light up. Before, Berserker had moved only as Ilya ordered, but now he's free to act, and he identifies us as enemies. Something's making a grinding sound. Tosaka? Tosaka grits her teeth hard, as if in regret.
あーちゃん、聞こえる？
Archer, can you hear me? Tosaka speaks quietly without turning.
少しでいいわ。一人であいつの足止めをして。
We don't need long. Distract him for us. She just ordered her servant to his death. Archer doesn't answer.
バカな。正気ですかリン。アーチャー一人ではバーサーカーにはかなわない。
Ridiculous. Are you mad, Rin? Archer cannot possibly go up against Berserker alone.
私たちはその隙に逃げる。あーちゃんには私たちが逃げ切るまで時間を稼いでもらうわ。
We are going to take that chance to escape. Archer is going to buy us time. Tosaka continues giving her orders, ignoring Saber. Her voice is cold, devoid of any emotion. Archer, who had been silent as if pondering something, his eyes fixed on Berserker, gives a slight nod.
賢明だ。リンたちが先に逃げてくれれば、私も逃げられる。
A sound plan. I will be able to escape once Rin and the others have.
単独行動は旧兵の得意分野だからな。
Independent action is an Archer's strong suit. He takes a step forward as if to protect Tosaka. Berserker doesn't move. Ilya's laughter echoes from above.
へえ、びっくり。そんな誰とも知らないサーバントで私のヘラクレスを止めるって言うんだ。
Oh wow, this is a surprise. You think your nobody of a servant can stop my Heracles.
なんだ、案外可愛いとこあるのね、リン。
I never thought you'd do something so cute, Rin. Neither Tosaka nor Archer are in any position to object. They know better than anyone. Archer steps forward. He's empty-handed as usual. Tosaka looks at Archer's back. There's nothing she can say to him. She must know her orders are absurd. They amounted to telling Archer to dive so we could escape.
あーちゃん、私
Archer, Tosaka is about to say something, but
ところでリン、一つ確認していいかな。
Rin, I just want to check something with you. Archer interrupts her, speaking so nonchalantly that it seems out of place.
いいわ。何？
Fine. What? Tosaka turns towards Archer, her eyes downcast. Archer's gaze stays locked on Berserker.
時間を稼ぐのはいいが、
Yeah.
別に
Oh,
あれを倒してしまっても構わんのだろ。
yeah. I don't mind buying you time. But you wouldn't mind if I just beat this thing, right? It sounds completely ridiculous.
あーちゃん、あんた
Archer, are you...
ええ、遠慮はいらないわ。
No, there's no need to hold back.
ガツンと痛い目に合わせてやって、あーちゃん。
Give him hell, Archer.
そうか。ならば、期待に応えるとしよう。
Understood. Guess I should try to live up to your expectations. Ho, 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 ho. OK, frame v pohodě, stream v pohodě, krása. OK. Archer walks forward. Only 10 meters until he reaches Berserker. At this distance, it could close on Archer instantly.
バカにして。いいわ。やりなさい、バーサーカー。そんな生意気なやつ、バラバラにして構わないんだから。
You're making a mockery of me. Fine. Get him, Berserker. Go tear that cocky man to pieces. Ilya's voice is hysterical. Tosaka turns her back, not paying attention.
行くわ。外に出れば、それで私たちの勝ちになる。
Let's go. Once we're out, we've won. Tosaka grabs my hand as well as Saber's and runs. Saber doesn't object. She follows Tosaka. I start running towards the entrance, leaving Archer behind. But then, from behind me,
宮代、
Emiya Shiro. He calls out to me, his back still to me. I let go of Tosaka's hand and turn around. In the lobby, now a good ways from me, I see Archer's back as he faces down Berserker.
いいか。お前は戦うものではなく、生み出すものに過ぎん。
Listen, you're not a fighter. You only create. Berserker draws near. Archer is still empty-handed, and he doesn't take a single step while he watches his enemy closing in.
余分なことなど考えるな。お前にできることは一つだけだろう。ならば、その一つを極めてみろ。
Don't think about anything else. There's only one thing you can do, so master that one thing. Archer raises one hand. I have no idea when he got it, but he's holding a short sword now.
忘れるな。イメージするものは常に最強の自分だ。外敵などいらぬ。お前にとって戦う相手とは自身のイメージに他ならない。
Don't forget, what you need to do is to always imagine yourself as the strongest. You don't need an enemy. The only opponent you need to fight is your own mind. I see him start to shift. Berserker's sword sends a rush of wind ahead of him. I turn and run, not staying to watch the clash. Tosaka and Saber are already at the entrance. I run and I don't look back. The sight of the man in red made it clear that I needed to go. We hurry through the long hallway and out through the gate. Hard as it is to believe, we were really in a castle. And an old one at that, hidden deep in the forest. The whole place is surrounded by trees as far as one can see. I can't see any buildings or even the sky in the distance.
こっちよ。3時間もすれば国道に出られるから、それまで走って。
This way. We should be able to reach the main road in about 3 hours. We better run. 3 hours. Honestly, I'm not sure I'll last that long. I'm not tired, but the pain gets worse with every step. If I could at least rest, my fever might break, but we don't have time for that.
シロ早く
Shiro, hurry! Tosaka sounds every bit as hurried. She had given Archer his orders. As composed as she looks, I can see the regret weighing on her. I know, they're going to catch up. Saber, let's hurry.
はい急ぎましょうシロ
Oh, yes, let us hurry, Shiro. Saber's eyes are downcast, but she breaks into a run with us. We follow Tosaka as she slips between the trees. Saber's breath rattles loudly in her chest as she runs beside me. It's too dark for me to see her clearly, but I can tell she's struggling. I can't ignore it any longer. Saber loses her balance. I sweep in from the side and take hold of her before she hits the ground. That's it. You can't go on anymore, Saber.
何を言うのですシロ
What are you saying, Shiro?
この程度の苦境今まで何度も経験してきました私はまだ十分に走れます
I have been in situations like this many times. I can still run. What are you talking about? Experience or not, you're still in pain now. Come on, you need to admit you're struggling. I pull her arm. Saber hardly weighs anything anyway. I gather her effortlessly into my arms.
何をするのですシロ
Eh? What are you doing, Shiro? No questions. Just rest for a while. I'll be the first to fall if I have to keep watching you struggle like that.
無礼な話しなさいこの程度で私が倒れるとでも思っているのですか
No, insolence. Unhand me. Do you truly believe this is enough to make me collapse? Saber struggles in my arms, but her resistance is weak. Her thin arms have no real strength in them as she pushes at my chest. It pains me to see that's how weak she has gotten. I never imagined Saber could be too weak to push away from someone picking her up.
何を考えているのですかシロこのようなこといくらマスターといえど許しません
What are you thinking, Shiro? I will not permit such behavior, even from my master. Saber struggles against me, her face beet red. I can't really blame her. This must be a terribly embarrassing position for a knight to be in, but now isn't the time to worry about that. Lies. You're too weak to even push me away. This is an order from your master. If he won't listen, I'll have to use a command spell.
卑怯なこんなことでレイジを使うなどそんな無意を容認できるはずがない
That is cruel. I will not tolerate such absurd nonsense as using a command spell for something like this. Then keep quiet. If we don't hurry, Tosaka is going to leave us behind. Saber must have given up, as she reluctantly falls silent. That's good enough for now. As long as she's not struggling, I can carry her and run at the same time. Spots burst across my vision. As I run, my blood pumps faster. I try to fight down the nausea burning at the back of my throat, gritting my teeth with every step. My breathing is erratic, but I do all that I can do to hold the pain at bay. There's a reason for that.
シロ下ろしてください
Shiro, please put me down.
やはり私も走りますから
I will run on my own. The moment she sees me struggling, Saber looks up at me, concerned. I can't stop now. Don't underestimate me. Carrying you is nothing. Compared to a broken stove, a girl's light as a feather.
ですが
But just shut your mouth. Is give and take just not your is give and take just not in your vocabulary? You've saved me plenty, so it wouldn't be fair for me not to do this. I need to pay you back for everything you've done, or else I can't have you protecting me tomorrow.
いえ、そんなことはないのですが、私の方こそこれでは釣り合いが取れなくなる。
No, that is not true, and you doing this is most certainly unfair. Fine by me, just means I'll only have to do something like this once. Besides, I'm starting to get motivated now. I take a breath and pick up the pace. Tosaka knows very well that I have Saber in my arms, but she keeps taking us through narrower and narrower paths. It's a good thing Saber's so light, but following Tosaka is a trial all on its own. If you keep talking, you might bite your tongue, so I'd appreciate it if you stopped. Yes, then I will do as my master says. Saber relaxes in my arms. She was tense earlier, which made carrying her harder. Now it's a bit easier. The problem now is whether Saber and I will make it to our destination. I don't know how long we've been running. Maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Running doesn't take a lot out of me. I've been training hard, and Saber is so light. But right now, there's something wrong inside me. The more I move, the dizzier I get. I feel like I'm about to throw up. I would have understood if I had been bitten by a snake and the poison was doing a number on me, since we are in the forest, but this is nothing. This pain won't bring me to my knees. It's just a heaviness in my chest and a need to throw something up. And it's nothing compared to the heat I'm feeling in my arms right now. Saber has closed her eyes as if she were sleeping. She's not resisting, she's relaxed. Her body is growing hotter by the moment. Her clothes are damp with sweat, even though it's the middle of winter, and she has tucked her head down to hide her labored breathing from me. This is bad. At this rate, it'll be a repeat of that one night. The night Saber collapsed from exhaustion after using her noble phantasm against Raida. Saber's condition hasn't changed since that night. Was she able to talk until now because she was just in the brief window before she disappeared? I run in an attempt to prevent that from coming true. I don't care what happens to my body. I move my feet as fast as I can, hoping that we can do something as long as we make it home. I very nearly trip and skid to a stop, leaning my back against a tree. I taste blood, so that's where the nausea's coming from. None got on Saber, since it was just a little bit, but the source of my nausea churns in my chest. Well, depending on how you look at it, this is actually better. Saber would be pretty upset about the waste of food if I threw up. Actually, knowing Saber, she might well cut me in half for it. Huh. Yep, that's funny. The bit of levity lends me just a little more energy. Okay, break's over. No, you are done pushing yourself, Shiro. Saber? She wasn't asleep. Saber speaks up from where she lays in my arms. What? What do you mean I'm done? You should escape on your own, Shiro. You cannot continue to carry me in your state. What the hell I can't? I just tripped. This is nothing. Says the boy so pale he looks like a corpse. Hey, Tosaka's come back for some reason. Proč mám 3 lidi, kteří se na mě koukají? Já vím, že jsem jeden z nich, ale já jsem z toho nervózní. Skurvený lurkeři. If you want to put on a brave front, go ahead. Yeah, the forest is pretty dark, but you should still wipe the blood from your mouth. No wonder Saber's so worried.
よかった。リンがいるのなら話が早い。
This is a relief. With Rin present, I need not explain myself.
でしょうね。セイバーの言いたいことはわかるわ。時間もないことだし、そこの大バカにもわかるようにさっさと言ってやって。
Ten je pořád fantastický, má už 2 hodiny streamu. No way! Figured so. I just know what you're trying to say, Saber. We don't have much time, so go ahead and say what you want to say. So even a big dummy like him will get it. Saber nods.
私を連れていては逃げきれないし、何よりもう長くは持ちません。
Yes, Rin. Yes, Rin. Please leave me here. You will not make it out with me, and more importantly, I cannot last any longer. I can't really insist she's being ridiculous. Neither of them needs to remind me how much worse Saber's getting. Saber won't last long. I have the sense she won't make it until morning, the way things are going.
そう。で、シロはこのままセイバーと心中する？
I see. So, what do you think, Shiro? Are you going to die with Saber out here? Of course not. I've got no plans to die or to let Saber disappear. If she's going to disappear, I'll use my command spells or whatever.
OK。それならいいわ。じゃあ、両方とも解決しましょう。
Okay, that's enough for me. Let's take care of both problems then.
セイバーを助けて、ついでに3人でこの森から脱出する。今後の方針はそれで決まりね。
We'll save Saber, and the 3 of us will escape this forest. That'll be the plan. Okay. Huh? My brain feels like mushy tofu. Tofu. Já jsem ho jednou a nechutnalo mi. A už mám jenom jednoho člověka, let's go. Začal jsem refreshnout YouTube. Tozaka says the damnedest things and always so casually. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I'd really like to do that, but we can't.
いいからこっちに来て。言っとくけど、私も簡単にセイバーを死なせる気はないわ。
Just follow me. I have no intention of letting Saber die either. I'll have you know.
ええ、この機会は逃さない。あなたにはその責務を果たしてもらう。シローもいいって言ったし、そうしても構わないわよね、セイバー。
I'm not going to let this opportunity slip away. I'm gonna make sure you fulfill your duty. Shiro said it was okay, so you don't mind, right, Saber? Tozaka looks towards Saber meaningfully. Saber doesn't answer. Instead, she averts her eyes awkwardly. Once we pass through the exceptionally tall trees, something unexpected comes into our view. A ruin?
ここならしばらく身を隠せるでしょ。
We should be able to hide out here for a while.
来るときにね、アーチャーが見つけておいたのよ。万が一の時の隠れ家にしようって。
Archer found this place on our way up here. He said we could use it as a hideout just in case. Trees choke the ruins. Only one of the rooms on the second floor remains more or less intact. The windows are miraculously undamaged, and the brilliant moonlight casts the room in its pale glow.
割合綺麗じゃない。もしかしたら最近まで誰かが寝泊まりしてたのかもね。
Huh, it's pretty clean in here. Maybe someone was staying here recently. Nothing phases this girl. Tosaka steps over the rubble and pats the bed near the wall with both hands.
シロこっち。セイバーを寝かせないとまずいでしょ。人に抱かれているのって結構体力使うのよ。
Shiro, over here. We should lay Saber here. Getting carried can actually be pretty tiring, you know. Oh, yeah, I'll be right there. I lay Saber on the old beat-up bed.
どう？苦しいセイバー。まだ体を動かすのには問題ない？
How are you holding up, Saber? Can you still move?
ええ。シローがここまで運んでくれましたから。まだ体を保っていられるようです。
Yes, I'm fine since Shiro carried me here. It seems I can still maintain my body.
そう。ならあとはこっちの問題だけか。
Okay, then there's only one issue left.
あれから1時間。イリアスフィールが追ってくるにしても、もう少し時間はかかるわ。探すのに手間取れば、朝方ぐらいまでは隠れていられる。
It's been an hour. It might take a little longer even if Ilias feels going to pursue us. No, we might be able to hide here until morning if they have trouble finding us. Oh. She has just reminded me of something. We've run as far as these ruins. But what happened with Berserker and Archer? He stayed in the castle to hold Berserker off. It's already been an hour. Archer should have retreated from the castle by now. Tosaka doesn't respond. She only presses her right hand to her heart, like she's clutching something precious. And that's enough to tell me what happened to Archer. Tosaka's command spell is on her right arm. A master and their servant are connected. In the same way Saber was able to detect when I was in danger, a master can sense whether their servant is alive or dead. Tosaka, he...
まあね。足止めだけでいいって言ったのにさ。
Yeah, and I told him to just buy us some time.
あいつ、最後までキザだったな。
That guy, he was pretentious till the very end. Silence falls between us. It feels like the silence will last forever, but then...
けど、無駄になんかしない。アーチャーを失った以上、バーサーカーはここで倒す。
But I won't let it be meaningless. Since I've lost Archer, I'm going to defeat Berserker here. The sound of Tosaka punching her hand into her fist breaks the
悔
silence.
むのはここまでよ。悩んでいる暇があったら行動するのが私の心情。ここまで来たら、あなたにも覚悟を決めてもらうからね。
No more mourning. My rule is that I should take action if I have time to worry. We've come this far, so now I'm going to have you make a decision too. Huh? What kind of decision?
決まってるじゃない。イリアスフィール、バーサーカーを倒す覚悟よ。
You should know very well the decision to defeat Iliasphere by killing Berserker.
セイバーを連れてたらこの森からは出られないし、彼女を自然に回復させるにしたって時間がかかる。どのみちイリアに追いつかれるわ。
If we have Saber with us, we can't get out of this forest, and having her recover naturally would take too long. Whichever we try, Ilia catches us.
わかる？私たち3人揃って森を出るには、バーサーカーを倒すしかない。
Don't you get it? If the three of us are ever going to leave this forest, we need to defeat Berserker.
それができなければ、私たちもアーチャーの後を追うだけよ。
If we can't do that, we are just going to follow Archer. Defeat Berserker? That monster? Defeat that invincible whirlwind of death? I can't imagine that being possible. If we fight, we die. Tosaka should understand that perfectly. Is her plan still to defeat him, even knowing that? No, that's wrong. What am I saying? Tosaka's not saying we can beat him. She's not so blindly optimistic. Yeah, got it. We're not going to beat him to win. I should have realized that from the very beginning. We have to beat him, don't we? That's all there is to it. If we don't want to die here, we have to defeat that monster.
そういうことよ。けど、それほど絶望的な状況ってわけでもないわ。
Exactly. Things aren't as dire as you might think, either.
いくらバーサーカーだって、アーチャーと戦った後なら何らかの傷を負っているはずよ。私だってとっておきの宝石を全部持ってきてるし、セイバーさえ回復すれば打開策の一つや二つは作り出せるわ。
Yeah, it's Berserker, but he should be wounded after fighting Archer. I've brought my entire jewel collection, and if Saber can recover, then we can come up with a plan or two.
逆に言えバーサーカーが傷を負っている今こそイリアスフィールを倒せる最大の機会だと思わない？
In fact, don't you think this is our best opportunity to defeat Ilyasphere since Berserker's wounded? Okay. Žilet, super. Jak vypadá flowchart? Okay, hodně dlouhá lejna. But is there a way to heal Saber? This isn't the best place to treat her.
セイバーの治療に場所は関係ないわ。
No. Location isn't the important thing for treating Saber.
セイバーは単に魔力切れで弱っているだけだもの。一定量の魔力さえ補充してあげれば、あとは以前通りの能力を発揮してくれる。
Saber is only weak because she's out of magical energy. If we can replenish enough of that magical energy, she should be able to use her abilities like before. Dosaka's explanation reminds me of late last night. She said that Saber's magical energy was mostly gone, which is why, to restore Saber's magical energy...
いい？セイバーを助けたいなら、セイバー自身に人を襲わせて魂を食べさせるしかない。
If you want to save Saber, you'll need to tell her to attack people and eat their souls.
なら答えは一つよ。
Then there's only one answer.
レイジを使いなさい、エミヤ君。それで最悪の事態は避けられるわ。
Use a command spell, Emiya. That should at least let you avoid the worst case here. I have 2 command spells left. I'll use one to make Saber attack people so she can devour their souls to replenish her magical energy. If Saber won't recover, we can't defeat Berserker. If we can't defeat Berserker, then he'll kill us. I look at Saber where she lies. You're just letting her suffer at this point, but... No. I still can't agree to let Saber attack innocent people.
ええ。今回は私も同意よ。
Yes, I actually agree this time. Huh?
これが他の場所だったらその提案をしたでしょうけどね。
If we were somewhere else, I might have suggested it.
でも、ここはイリアスフィールの庭の中。人の魂なんかどこにもない。あの城の中にはバーサーカーとイリアスフィール以外の誰かがいるかもしれないけど、それを探しに行くのはミスミス七に赴くようなものよ。
But we are in Ilyasphere's forest. There's not a single human soul around. There might be some people besides Ilya and Berserk in the castle, but going back there is a suicide mission. For Saber to eat souls, we would have to be out of this place, so that's not going to happen right now. Dosaka nods. I'm relieved not to have to make Saber attack people, but then how are we supposed to replenish Saber's magical energy? So what do we need to do, Dosaka? This whole problem comes from me not being able to provide Saber with magical energy.
方法はあるわよ。その昨日ってもう一昨日に説明したでしょ？
There are other ways. I thought I explained that to you yesterday. Well, I guess it's the day before yesterday
サ
now.
ーバントに魔力を分け与える方法は共有の魔術とそれ以外にわずかな方法しかないって。あの時はまあこんな状況になるとは思わなかったから言わなかったんだけど。
Sharing magical energy with a servant can be accomplished by sharing magecraft and a handful of other methods. Back then, well, I don't say anything because I never thought we would end up in a situation like this. I tried to think back to our conversation that night. Now that she mentions it, she said something like,
まあ召喚時にセーバーとパスが通っているはずだからまだ方法があるかもしれないけど。
well, a path should have been created between you and Saber during her summoning, so there might be a different way, but... I think that's what Dosaka said. I remember now, you said something about a path, and that there's some other method besides magecraft. Right? Or did I get it wrong? At the time, I was shocked to learn that I had to make Saber attack people, so I might have misheard her. Dosaka, is there another way?
まあね、私がサポートできる範囲で2つ。この状況だと荒っぽい方になるわ。
Yeah, there are 2 other options I can help you with, but this isn't exactly an ideal situation for either.
いい？セイバーの魔力不足は 素人のパスが不完全だからよ。彼女を回復させるにはこのパスを完全な形に通し直すしかない。
Listen, Saber lacks magical energy because the path between you two is incomplete. In order for her to recover, we need to reform the path between you to make it work properly. That's probably the best solution, but I don't know how to do it. Saber's summoning was messed up from the start. If I had been able to make a connection to supply her with magical energy, we wouldn't be in this mess.
話自体は簡単よ。シロとセイバーを共感状態にして霊的なパスをつなぎ直すだけ。契約破棄や最小間以外にパスを修復するためにはそれしかない。
It's quite simple. We need you and Saber to bond properly and reconnect your spiritual path. That's the only way to fix a path without breaking the contract or resummoning her.
そのためにセイバーにシロの魔術回路を移植するの。
And to do that, we need to transplant your magic circuits to Saber. Transplant my magic circuits to Saber?
セイバーとシロのパスを新しくするには霊的に重要な器官を移植するしかないわ。
To establish the path between you and Saber, we need to transplant spiritually important organs.
サーバントとマスターが聖杯の力を借りているのなら、それに匹敵する強い結合を生み出さないとパスは通らない。
If the servant and master are borrowing the Holy Grail's power, we need to create a connection just as strong, or else the path won't be formed.
そのためにはマスターの魔術回路をサーバントに移植する。
And to accomplish that, we need to transplant the master's magic circuits to their servant. It's going to require something that extreme, or your powers won't reach Saber. Magic circuits, an indispensable mechanism for mages that uses Ord to activate mana. It's the core of a mage's existence, and without it, the magical energy that serves as the source of a mage's power can't be created. To a mage, their magic circuits are more important than life itself. They see them as the thing that gives their existence value.
サーバントの回路をマスターに移植するのは危険すぎるわ。ゴーストライナー、それも英霊の回路は死にゆく人の体に移しても強烈な拒絶反応しかもたらさない。
It's too dangerous to transplant a servant's circuit to a master. Transplanting the circuits of a ghostliners, especially heroic spirits, into a dying person pretty much only leads to severe rejection.
そうなると残された手はシロの回路をセイバーに移植するしかないってこと。
So, our only remaining option is to transplant your circuits to Saber.
でもそれは張り巡らされた神経を引きちぎられることと同じよ。そうなればその負担は。
But it amounts to ripping nerves out of your body, which means the burden here will be entirely on the one offering the transplant. Ripping out nerves is the same as amputating fingers or even arms.
待ってください、リン。
Please, wait, Rin.
それはあまりにもシロに。
That would be too much for Shiro.
そうしないと誰も生き残ることはできない。あなたなら分かっているはずよ、セイバー。
And if we don't do it, none of us will survive. You should know that, Saber. I gulp as quietly as I can. I have to get my priorities straight. You don't have time for me to hesitate when what needs to be done is clear. Dosaka, can you make this work?
成功させるわ。でも成功させることはそのまま安全につながるわけじゃない。
I'll make it work, yes. But even if it works, it's not going to be safe or easy.
失敗させるつもりはさらさらないけど、成功すればシロの魔術回路はセイバーに奪われる。むしろ失敗した方がいいんじゃないかって思えるほどの喪失感と苦痛を生むでしょうね。
I have no intention of failing, but even if I succeed, your magic circuits will go to Saber. You will experience such an intense sense of loss and pain, you'll wish I failed.
もし魔術回路を奪われれば、それはシロが。
If your magic circuits are taken from you, that means you... It would mean that my secondary nerve, my missing magic circuits, would be like a piece torn from my psyche, and would damage the spiritual body's integrity, creating a fatal flaw in me as a mage. I will never regain that missing piece for as long as I live. My hopes of becoming a full-fledged mage from experience alone will die. Once I lose my foundation, my magic circuits, I will always be incomplete, no matter what. I nod, for my own sake. Is that all? I would rather save Saber. Okay, let's do it, Tosaka.
早っ。決断が早いのはいいけど、本当にどういうことなのか分かってるの？
That was fast. Oh, well, I guess it's fine you decided so fast, but do you really understand what you're getting into? I do. You already told me.
分かってるわけないじゃない。
Of course you don't.
いい？セイバーを救うために、私はシローに魔術師として死ねと言っているようなものなのよ。なのにどうしてそんなに反論もしないでうなずいて。
Listen, I've basically just told you that you're going to have to die as a mage to save Saber. How can you just agree without any questions or objections? Because I don't have any objections. I'm agreeing because it's the best plan we have. You should be more confident in your own plan. Seeing you panic like that is making me worry. And if we don't do this, Saber can't fight Berserk, right?
そうよ。そうだって言ってるじゃない。
Right. That's what I've been saying. See? And it's not like we haven't made any sacrifices. We have to fight and win, since he bought us time. His stance told me to go. I didn't like him, but if he was willing to risk his life to protect his master, Tosaka, I can't back out now.
いいわ。始めましょう、シロ。
Fine, let's begin, Shiro. Yeah, are you ready, Saber? We are going to transmit my magic circuits to you.
はい。それがマスターの判断なら。
Yes, if that is your decision, Master. I hear neither affirmation nor denial in her voice. But her eyes seem filled with regret. I guess Tosaka is going to prepare us for the transplant. I don't know the procedure, so I just have to leave it all to Tosaka.
まずはセイバーからね。シロは魔術回路をオンにしたまま、できるだけ心を乱さないように待機していて。
We'll start with Saber, Shiro. Keep your magic circuits on and just try to keep your mind clear. I close my eyes and switch over the artificial nerve in my body. Thanks to Tosaka's instructions, I've been able to turn my circuits on and off effortlessly. Oh. Good. A red flower entangles the white flower. Tosaka climbs up to straddle Saber, who lies still. Then she begins to run her fingers freely along the curves of Saber's slender form. Tosaka, what are you doing to Saber?
何って、セイバーにもリラックスしてもらおうと思って。セイバーが力を抜いてくれないと成功率が下がっちゃうし。
What do you mean? I'm doing this to help Saber relax. We don't have as good a chance of success if Saber can't relax. Oh, okay, sorry, continue.
ええ、どうも。
Okay.
それじゃあ服を脱ぎましょうか、セイバー。
Now, let's get your clothes off, Saber. What? What?
いちいち驚かないの。脱ぐって言っても一部だけよ。魔術回路の移植は精神と体の融合よ。できるだけ接触を多くして、遮蔽を少なくしなきゃいけないでしょ。
Quit reacting to everything I do. We just need to take some of her clothes off. Transplanting magic circuits is a mingling of body and mind. We need to make sure you make as much contact with as little obstruction as possible. Tosaka is completely calm about this. Saber and I are the only two who are flustered about this as Tosaka begins undoing Saber's collar.
待ってください、リン。それでしたら自分ででき。
But please, wait, Rin. I can at least do that.
腕を上げるのも辛いくせに強がらないで。はあ、それともエミヤくん、マスターの責務としてセーバーを自分で脱がせたいとか。
no. You can hardly lift your arm, so quit trying to act tough. Unless... Emiya, do you want to take Saber's clothes off since you're her master? You... I want to call her a fool, but I snap my mouth shut. All jokes aside, I'm not suited to a task like that. If I had to do it, I wouldn't be able to maintain my composure. Sorry, I'm leaving everything to you.
よろしい。そういうわけだから白も脱ぎなさい。
Good. So you know you'll need to strip too.
は、上着脱ぐだけでいいから。下まで全部脱いだら殺すからね。
Just the shirt though. I'll kill you if you even think about taking off your pants. I can't tell if she's joking or being serious. It seems like I need to strip to connect with Saber though.
白、お願いです。しばらく背を向けていていただけないでしょうか。
Shiro, if I may ask, please turn away for a moment. Oh, got it. Tell me when you're ready. I turn away and fold the shirt I was wearing. I try to distract myself and hide how nervous I am by folding the shirt up neatly, sleeves and all.
大丈夫、セイバ
Are you okay, Saber?
ー。はい。だいぶ楽になりましたが。
Kamo, jestli neukážu ani já zabiju tady ten remaster. Yes, I feel much better, however. I need to calm down. I try to get my fear under control as I find myself dreading how painful and difficult the magic circuit transplant will be, and how it might fail. This is just a step along the path. I should be more worried about the fight with Berserker that comes after this.
いいわよ、白。
You can turn around, Shiro. Okay. Oni to ukázali. I forget to breathe. I've seen her bare skin before, but I've never seen Saber like I'm seeing her right now as she lies in bed. It must be all this tension in the air. It's not just me. Saber is acting weird too. She acted normal when I saw her bare skin before.
白、こっち。
Over here, Shiro.
ここに上がってセイバーに覆いかぶさって。
Get up here and get on top of Saber. It's like someone else is controlling my body. I'm walking towards the bed, but it doesn't seem real to me.
セイバー、同調までは私がやるわ。
Saber, I'll handle things until the sympathizing step.
それからあとはあなたにお願いするけど、持っていきすぎないように注意して。少なければ少ないほど、シローの負担は減るから。
I'll have you take over after that, but make sure not to take too much. The less you take, the less the burden on Shiro will be.
わかりました。お願いします。リン。
Understood. Please go ahead, Rin. I have no idea what they're saying. Right now, it's all I can do to breathe. We get even closer. We are so close our skin is almost touching. I feel Saber's weak breath on me. I support my weight on my hands. My body so close to hers.
変革準備。
Auftrag wird ersetzt.
地質。ボーガ。
Ok, tady budu trénovat svoji němčinu. Fuha. Das dritte Element wird als das erste gekennzeichnet. Das Fleisch kehrt einmal zum Teil des Sternes zurück. The chant begins. I try to focus my consciousness on what's happening, to clear my mind so I can sympathize with Saber.
小さく。小さく。小さく。小さく。
Sie fliegen noch schnell weit zu morgen.
円環航路開始。
Nie zurück schauen. I only see Saber's face. She's already in a meditative state. I can't keep my eyes open forever. I reluctantly close my eyes.
大きく。大きく。大きく。大きく。
Es gibt niedrig, ist langsam, ist nah und die Bergenheit.
愛路行動。
Fuck.
連続閉鎖。
Ne. Ne. Takhle. Nie vorher betrachten. My senses begin to fade. It's the same floating sensation as when I create my magic circuit every night. The feeling of my ego, my mind, leaving my body. This time though, it's running in the reverse. Normally, I feel that sensation coming from my back, but right now my consciousness is escaping from my chest. The 5 senses are functions associated with the physical body. The moment my consciousness leaves my body, I lose my sense of hearing, but my ears are more sensitive to Saber's breathing. Her slow, steady breathing begins to speed up. I hear the heart pounding in my chest. Blood rushes through my veins. I leave the vessel known as Shiro Emiya and slide into her body. Jo, to je vlastně ten fucking CGI drak. My consciousness sinks deeper into her. My self swirls and converges, invading her as a solid crystal. Pulsing, hot breath. Our hearts, not our hearts, not our bodies touch. Shiro. Her voice rings out like a bell, and in response, my essence escapes my physical body. My senses are transformed. I have no hands, no legs, no self. But I continue on in despair state. Time seems to flow backward. Instead of flying, I feel as if I'm being left behind. I accelerate. The body, persona, order, law. I become an arrow, shattering every barrier around me, destroying the boundaries that separate one person from another. Sparks race along the circuit. I freeze in the ecstasy. I freeze in the ecstasy of reaching the speed of light. No, Shiro, double Shiro. They say a person's life flashes by in a single instant. The flashbacks are cruel. Every instant passes by in the blink of an eye. I can't look at it directly, so I find myself going emotionally numb. So this is a mental journey. I'm reminded just how comforting our physical bodies, our anchors can be. I visualize the foundation of magecraft. The human operation is quantified. Millions of joints form a circle. The endless complex patterns are in fact just a highway formed by simple repetition, all heading into the vastness of the future. It's like a vehicle of some kind heading towards a darkened city of light. Here, in the present, my thoughts pass by at the speed of light. Eternity passes in an instant. I pass through the last boundary. I break through, and I'm inside her. I see a glimpse of Altria's magic circuits, not my own. The changes are extreme. The speed and light of the world vanish all at once. Here it is dark, here it is heavy. The pressure of it pushes against my bodiless form. The air so thick I may as well be underwater. My body sinks, feeling only the agony of being clamped in a vice. The path is deep, and I can't see the bottom. I feel myself fall through the thick twilight, plummeting deeper into an even denser darkness. It seems impossible that, just a moment ago, I traveled 10,000 miles in the blink of an eye. Now, even going a single mile seems like it would be an arduous, eternal journey. I feel neither light nor hope. Are these really Saber's magic circuits? They're completely different from mine. The shape of the circuits, the number of pathways, all that differs from the person to person, but this is unlike anything else. This isn't a matter of scale or ability. Saber's magic circuits are fundamentally different than a mage's. The path rumbles. Every time it does, my tiny self nearly shatters. I don't know what Saber's magic circuits are like, but I can tell the sympathizing magecraft is functioning properly. This is not a failure. The dark, heavy pressure of this place doesn't seem like Saber, but it's also not an impure place. It's brimming with life. The flowing air is blood and a swirl of magical energy. I realize I've forgotten to breathe. I haven't needed to. Sinking is painful, but it's not life-threatening. I look up into the darkness I've sunk into, but I seem to be past the point of no return. I can't see anything in this darkness. I'm submerging gradually, but the distance ahead is infinite. Det är en fuck-ass drack. The air grows even heavier. My rate of descent slows yet again. I squint into the darkness. The seemingly endless road does have an end. I feel the heat of Saber's body. I feel her every breath, so close. The final destination. Woo! I reach the source of Saber's magic circuits, the center of a mental world. Drak. But what I see is beyond my capacity to understand. It's the core of a star. I've reached the embodiment of some impossible, scorching heat, breathing from the depths of the earth. Tady bude. The fiery red surface swirls and then there's a splash, like stagnant mud. At the bottom, there lurks a giant shadow, its fiery eyes fixed on the tiny intruder. Whether its master gave the intruder permission to enter or not, it is still a foreign invader. In the face of the score, my own consciousness is barely a mote of dust to disturb its function, or a piece of wood to feed its fire. I gulp, even though I have no throat to swallow with. I take in the entire scene. These are Saber's magic circuits. A heart beyond anything human, so different from ours, which we imagine as lines and circuits. This is a reactor core. If a mage's body is a machine for creating magical energy, then what I am seeing now is an entire factory. But the core is inactive. The key that should activate the core, the spark of power to bring the whole thing to life, has been cut off. Despite the overwhelming ability this core has to produce massive amounts of magical energy, it lacks the initial charge to activate itself. It floats overhead, a stagnant sea of fuel. No matter how much undiluted magical energy fills this endless space, it's useless. It needs to ignite. Even a tiny spark could do the trick. So long as the pathway for magical energy is connected, the core will roar back to life. And to do that, something beyond human knowledge awakens. Pathways running over the lake of magical energy begin to swirl. Red air explodes upwards in a raging pillar. Is this what it is like to stand in a thundercloud? So intense is the roar of the raging waves that I don't even properly hear it. In the same way something too massive can't be properly seen, the roar is its own kind of silence to me. What appears at the heart of that blazing core is the embodiment of every thread mankind carries in their hearts. It has been said that the king is a red dragon and symbolizes Britain. Phantasmal blood runs in their human veins, the child of a sacred star. Já mám shivers, tohle je cool. A dragon, a ruler, the symbol of so many phantasmal species, objects of both awe and fear. The pinnacle of all beasts, appealing at times as a demon, at times a god. This is what lies in Saber's subconscious. Its otherworldly form suits the servant said to be the best. The cauldron opens. Vicious fangs are all I see. There can be no resistance. Humans which pale to insignificance before this could never defend against it. No human intelligence could ever conceive of a way to escape. Oh. It must be famished. It devours its prey, which would normally seem as inconsequential as motes of dust with its bloodshot eyes. And I am at a complete loss for words. I wonder, why do we not eat living meals? It's obvious. We cannot bear to see our food alive. We prefer fresh food, but barely do we eat anything alive, because we feel it's cruel for our food to suffer. In other words, killing the meat we consume before we eat it is our way of preserving its dignity. A scream of rage tears its way from my throat. I forget who I am and roar like a beast. I try to appeal to the beast. The hatred builds within me. My only resistance is bearing my emotions. I beg for mercy like a crucified sinner as I'm ground to meal. My consciousness grows hazy, muddled. Every purpose and meaning in my life falls away. Any hope of retaining my sanity is as long gone as creation itself. The pain, the pressure, they're far, far too much. And then, when I came to see it only as a monster. Even once I had learned of this hell. I believed I could endure it. The image of Saber, her head hanging low, comes back to me. I recall the meaning of this pain. That meaning drives me forward. It is a little painful reminder of what I came to here to do. I draw in a deep breath and let go of my resistance. It's not the dragon's fangs I should be fighting, but the pain twisting through me. I'm not here to run from the pain. I'm here to save her pain. To live up to the trust she has placed in me time and time again. And so, I'm here to give her the best thing that I, who has no hope of fighting, can give. The pain is indescribable. I can't reach out to my ground down consciousness. I hone my awareness like a blade, silently as if I were asleep. Here, eternity is but an instant. As long as I can endure this pain, even for an instant, my consciousness will remain. Alright, then. So Pete, I won't let myself feel an ounce of fear. I shall dedicate this pain to you, who will be the one to fight. Fuck ass pes. Počkat, je stream v pohodě? Jo, jede. The pain instantly fades. The red dragon is gone and my consciousness gradually floats back to the surface. Am I fateless because I lost something? As if I'm floating back up to the water's surface, I feel myself rising up above the reactor. But wait, there's something I want to check before. Ah, it's so warm. A dull, throbbing hum issues from the reactor as it burns with golden light. The elaborate magic circuits shine with a rainbow hue and begin their circulation. The fire is lit. I may be an untrained amateur. Fuck, jak se říká? Jak se to čte? Amateur, ne. Amateur, ne. Amateur. I may be an untrained amateur of a mage, but today I filled my role as a lord. I surrender my body to the wind and float upward. I catch a glimpse of a distant memory. A figure holding a sword and a figure standing in a grassy field as it dances in the wind. Which one did I find reminiscent? Oh! Magic circuit transplant achievement. Woo! I feel sunlight on my eyelids and slowly open them. Dazed and confused, I check over my own body. My arms and legs are fine. I don't see any wounds. Maybe the pain faded the moment I was able to endure it. My physical wounds and even the mental scars seem to have been healed. Shiro. I hear a weak voice from under me. Huh? The feeling of her soft skin immediately makes me realize who's speaking and the position we're in. Ah, ouch! Saber is lying on the bed with her blouse in disarray, while Tosaka is sleeping, craning her knees to her chest. Tosaka may be fine, but Saber's been under me like this the whole time. Morning, Saber. Yes, good morning, Shiro. We exchange awkward pleasantries. Saber slowly gets up and rearranges her blouse. Crap. We're so embarrassed we can't look each other in the eye. You can already get up, Saber? Yes, I can receive your supply of magical energy now. She seems to be back to her normal self. When I carried her here last night, she was so weak, it seemed she might disappear at any moment. But that weakness is gone now. I see. That's a relief. So the magic circuit transplant worked. Yes, so, would you please put your clothes on, Shiro? I don't know why, but it is difficult speaking to you this way. I look down at myself. Oh, right, yeah, you're right. I hastily reach for my neatly folded shirt. That was nice of Tosaka to fold it up like that. Wait, no, I did that. Why did I fold it so tight? I vividly recall last night's ritual. I connected with Saber and Tosaka transplanted my magic circuits deep within Saber. Saber looks like she's back to normal, but what happened to me? Tosaka warned that my body and mind may not be able to handle the loss of magic circuits, but I don't feel much damage, nor any huge sense of loss. I was a little scared, but I checked on my magic circuits myself. The idea of seeing for myself just how much I've lost is terrifying, but we're heading into a battle against Berserker. I need to understand my own condition. Huh? I don't know how to explain it. The overall function of my magic circuits feels sluggish, but there doesn't seem to be any obvious damage. I was chewed to pieces, but my magic circuits are still intact. It looks like I'll still be able to do my strengthening magecraft. I see, so that means... I assume the magic circuits are rarely used were the ones Tosaka took. I only activate about 1 to 4 circuits when I do strengthening. Since I can't do large-scale magecraft anyway, I've never fully activated all my circuits. So she's transplanted the circuits I don't use to Saber. Shiro. I close my eyes to assess my situation. It seems this won't affect my strengthening magecraft. But this sluggishness, like I'm wading through water, is because my capacity for magecraft has decreased. In exchange though, I feel that I'm connected to something important deep inside myself. I can't tell exactly where it's coming from, but there's a faint line that connects me and Saber. I've gained something truly important in exchange for my lost circuits.
シロ。
I must apologize, Shiro. Saber speaks up from somewhere behind me.
シロの回路を得る際に必要最小限にとどめるよう努力はしました。
I did my best to take as few of your circuits as possible.
ですが、その最低限の量ですら人から得るには多すぎた。もしやシロに消せない傷跡を残してしまったかと思うと、
Dit bij hodně dlouhý stream, ho? But even that bare minimum was too much to take from any one person. I have left a scar on you that will never fade, and I cannot apologize enough for that.
これは私の不覚です。私が核も力足らずでなければ、シロには。
It is my failure. If only I were stronger, more disciplined, I would not have... That's not true. You have nothing to apologize for, Saber. This all happened because I couldn't supply you with magical energy in the first place. That's solved now, though. Now I can give you the magical energy you need without a problem. Yep. Now I can finally proudly say that I'm Saber's master.
ですが、シロ。
But Shiro, don't worry about my magic circuits. I didn't use them all anyway. I even feel better without them, actually. Saber's expression remains clouded. Crap, I never know what to say at times like this. Saber's recovered, and I survived even after the loss of some of my magic circuits. Saber's magic circuits, the dream of light and wind, and Saber in her youth. And on top of that, we spent the night touching, skin to skin. Calm down, calm down. That was a ritual for our survival. I need to calm my mind. If I don't focus, I could mess up during battle. The sleepy rhythm of Tosaka's breathing holds as she grunts. Looks like Tosaka's awake too.
おはようございます、リン。
Si vede full chart, pořád tohle, okay. Good morning, Rin. Yo, morning, Tosaka. I see Tosaka's hair shift, then her head tilts up. She is not a morning person at all, and doesn't look her usual sharp self at all. Thanks, Tosaka. It worked.
はい。私の魔力の補充はできました。ですがその代わりシロに。
Yes, he is able to supply me with magical energy now, but in exchange, Shiro has... No, I only lost about 30%, so don't worry. I can make do with what I still have.
3割ですか?
30%?
なんとか最初にとどめたというのに、それでも3割とは。我がことながら、なんとご欲な。
I did everything I could to minimize what I took, but I still took 30%. I cannot believe my own greed. Greedy, you say? I know you were hungry, but I wish you had a little better manners. Tosaka joining us helps dispel the awkwardness between Saber and me. Now we're back to normal.
そう、じゃあ、いいわね。
Is that so? Then, let's get going. Tosaka yawns and gets to her feet. It's almost time for the battle. Somewhere in that forest, Berserker and Iliasfir wait. If we don't defeat that hurricane of death, everything we did last night was for nothing. The connection that was created between me and Saber, deep in our hearts. To protect what we created, we'll have to defeat the most powerful enemy of all. Save? Oh, interlude? Archer a Berserker možná? That battle comes to an end. The two fought fiercely, and it ended with the disappearance of the Red Knight. Holy shit! Now a shadow of its former glory, the reception room is in ruins. The floors are cracked and broken. Many of its walls have been knocked down. The stairs have collapsed, and broken marble is scattered across the floor. There is hardly a trace of the reception room's original form. Some might even say time itself has been stolen from its space. After such vast destruction, the scene bears no resemblance to what it was just 2 hours ago. A sculpture, well suited to such destruction, stands in the middle of it all. Standing over 2 meters tall, it bears the crude likeness of a man, as if roughly hacked out of stone. It hardly bears mentioning. This is Iliasphere's servant, Berserker. The giant doesn't move. Its entire body is splattered with red, with several holes torn through it. Not a single inch of the giant's body isn't wounded. 1. Both legs appear on the verge of collapse. 2. A massive gash on the neck. 3. Arms practically hanging off the elbows. 4. Something has pierced it from shoulder to groin. 5. Blood gushes from its chest. 6. Its belly is torn open. Berserker is not moving. He will. It's clearly a corpse. The battle itself lasted less than an hour. The result. Unexpected. Berserker's master is beside herself. She should be picking off what remained of her prey, but instead she just stands there, staring at the devastation. I don't believe this. Who was that guy? Her voice is a low mumble now. The battle came as a humiliation to her. Her servant is the most powerful. Among all heroic spirits, maybe 1 or 2 could compete with Heracles, the most renowned hero of all time, and yet some unknown archer defeated him. The Red Knight fought on equal ground with Berserker, and in the end even killed Berserker, which nobody else had even thought possible. And for that he can never be forgiven. To Ilia, it is as if she has just been stabbed in the heart by a passing insect. She prided herself on being the strongest master. For her to lose to the sword she should have so casually trampled must be unthinkable. Ah, this is so frustrating. I can't believe you let him beat you 6 times. You weren't going easy on him, were you, Berserker? The statue doesn't answer. It has neither the time nor the need to do so. Berserker stands still, focusing on healing himself. Even for him, this was an unusual battle. His noble phantasm nullifies any attack, so long as the attack is not of the highest possible class. It won't so much as scratch him. As such, he rarely sustains any wound. In his own time, none could harm him after he attained greatness. But here now, he has been hurt 6 times. Archer delivered 6 fatal blows. Each of his attacks was of a different sort. That is because even the strongest attacks won't work twice on Berserker. Strange as this battle was, the most truly bizarre part was, if Archer was a hero with so many different abilities, his identity should have been obvious. But even after his body was pulverized, Archer's identity remained a mystery. What was really surprising was how he carried himself in a way that seemed contradictory as a servant. A faint light flickers in the pupils of Berserker's eyes. Were Berserker a normal, rational servant, he would probably feel pretty bad about how this battle went. Whatever his identity might have been, Archer was a rare and formidable adversary. If only Berserker's sanity hadn't been taken from him, he would have fought to his heart's content and maybe even enjoyed himself. I won't forgive them. I'll never forgive them. How dare they insult me like this? Ilia's voice echoes in the shattered hall. Whatever tiny embers of rationality might have been returning to him are immediately snuffed out by her voice. He's just Berserker now. His role is to overwhelm and annihilate his master's enemies. Have you healed, Berserker? Berserker doesn't need to answer. So long as the wound doesn't kill him, he'll heal in moments. But to completely recover from this would take as much as 3 days. I can't wait that long. Fine, we're killing them now. The giant silently objects. It's almost instinctive. At least when it comes to a fight, Berserker has instincts similar to Saber's. He can certainly destroy his enemy easily enough, but if Saber has recovered enough that she can use her noble phantasm, there will be a different story. Berserker will not fall to a mere sacred sword, but there is always that small chance of something going wrong. His instincts tell him that he should be completely prepared before facing this servant. What? 5 lives should be plenty. There are no enemy to worry about, even without your god hand. Or what? Are you going to let them get away even after they've made fools of us, Berserker? That's what you're saying. Nobody's going to escape my forest. Yep. I'm leaving Rin and Saber to you. You can kill them, toy with them, whatever you want. Ilya hops down from the stairs. She walks through the rubble to the exit, without a moment's concern for Berserker, bloodied as he is. But suddenly, she stops as if remembering something. Come, let's begin our hunt, Berserker. But she can't kill Saber's master so easily. I'm going to make sure Shiro dies in the worst way imaginable. Ilya heads out of the castle, giggling happily. The sun is about to rise. Ilya knows the forest like the back of her hand. She won't have any trouble finding her prey, even if they try to hide. Her targets have only minutes to live. Interlude out. Jdeme save, a už si lehce končit, mám hlad. Fuck. And I don't know why, but I'm forced out of the ruins. Berserker kicks me out, saying that girls have to make some adjustments and changing and stuff like that. Damn, what is she talking about? Men have things too, you know. I lean against the wall as I grumble. I guess I sound like a sore loser, and that's exactly it. I remember, and then I try to shake off my desires. Srdíčko, OK. Dostaneme se k tomu a asi to uložím, protože... Počítáte tady to pořád jako... Jo. I remember, and then I try to shake off my desires. I can't think about that right now. If I keep lingering on my memories with Saber, I'm a dead man. More than anything, it will be rude to Saber. I made contact with Saber to save her. I shouldn't have any other feelings for Saber. What a crock. It's such a pathetic excuse, even I don't believe it. I can't forget what happened with Saber, but I need to, for now. Honestly, I don't have time to worry about that kind of stuff. Our concern right now is how to fight Berserker. Right, I should be doing whatever I can. He told me that at the end. I think back to Archer. I never warmed up to him, but every word he said stuck with me. I stared at a tree branch. There's only so much I can do. I may not be much help, but I'm going to do whatever I can as best I can. For starters, I snap off a nearby tree branch. Then I try to find other straight branches. Shiro, you're done. Come back inside. Tosaka's voice reaches me in my search. I head back to the ruins, carrying the branches I collected. Well, the only other problem is... whether I can act anything approaching normal around Saber after looking into her heart, however briefly.
こちらです、シロ。リンから話があるそうです。
This way, Shiro. Rin has something to tell you. I guess I was worrying over nothing. Saber is her usual self. Unlike me, immature as I am, she's probably just approaching this pragmatically. Oh, yeah, I'll be right there. Damn, I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm so damn dumb, being the only one blushing over this, so I'm gonna do my best to keep my composure.
来たわね。それじゃあ作戦会議を始めるけど、会議って言っても口論し合う暇はないわ。
There you are. We're going to start off our meeting. Well, it may be a meeting, but we don't have time for arguments.
バーサーカーを倒す方法も限られているし、とりあえず私の話を聞いてもらえる？
There's only so much we can do to defeat Berserker, so can you at least hear me out? Saber and I nod.
作戦としてまともな方法じゃバーサーカーとは勝負にならない。
Our plan is simple. We are no match against Berserker using normal means.
勝つためには奇襲。仕掛けたのなら反撃させずに一撃で首を落とすのが絶対条件だと思う。
If we are going to win, we need to ambush him, which means we need to take his head off in a single attack, and not leave him any chance to counterattack.
同感です。バーサーカーと打ち合ったところで、あれには致命傷を与えられません。倒すのならば、打ち合いの外から消すべきでしょう。
I agree. Simply trading blows with Berserker will not critically injure him. If we are to defeat him, we will require another strategy. Besides trading blows, are you saying we need to attack Berserker before he realizes he's being attacked? Well, sure, I think it's reckless to go toe-to-toe with him, but that just sounds reckless. He's not the sort to just let something like that happen.
ええ、バーサーカーに気づかれずに近寄るなんて都合のいい作戦はやらないわよ。
Yes, it's pretty optimistic to think we can get right up to Berserker without him noticing us.
あっちにはイリアスフィールがいるんだもの。少なくともセイバーとシローの気配は簡単に感知されるわ。私は気配を隠せるから大丈夫だけど。
He has Iliasphere. She'll immediately detect Saber and Shiro's presence. I mean, I can conceal my presence, so that's not a problem. I don't understand the logic, but I get the sense Ilia can detect me and Saber. And if Tosaka's the only one who can conceal herself, you're not saying that she'll be the one launching the ambush, are you?
当然でしょ。一番に狙われてるのはシローなんだし、この中で一番動きやすいのは私だもの。隙をついて後ろからバッサリやるのは任せなさい。
Of course, you're the main target here, and I'm the one who can move freely. Leave striking Berserker from behind to me. You make it sound so easy, but you sure as hell know it won't be.
そりゃそうよ。だからセイバーに隙を作ってもらうの。
Of course not. That's why I'm going to have Saber create an opening for me.
セイバー、体はどのくらい回復した？
Saber, how much have you recovered?
通常戦闘ならば問題はありません。ですが、宝具の使用は避けるべきです。
Fighting normally should not be a problem. However, I should avoid using my noble phantasm.
今の魔力では、おそらく使った瞬間に体を維持できなくなる。たとえ使ったとしても純度は落ちていますから、バーサーカーを倒せるとは思えません。
With the amount of magical energy I have right now, I will no longer be able to maintain my body the moment I use it. Even if I do, it will not be at full power, so I do not believe it would be sufficient to defeat Berserker.
ええ、それで十分よ。セイバーにはバーサーカーと打ち合ってもらうわ。もちろん、シローも一緒。
Yes, that's fine. I will have Saber be the one to fight Berserker, with Shiro, of course.
で、私は隠れて様子を見る。イリアスフィールから見れば私はおまけみたいなものだし、いなければ二人を見捨てて逃げたとか思うんじゃないかしら。
I'll hide nearby, watching. I'm just a bonus to Iliasphere, so she'll think I abandoned you two and just ran if she doesn't see me around.
はあ、それは、まあ可能性はなくはありませんが。
Huh, well, I suppose that is not impossible.
可能性が低いならあげて。
If our chances are slim, we just have to make them better.
シロはイリアスフィールと仲がいいみたいだし、うまく話せば騙せるんじゃない？
Shiro seems to be friendly with Iliasphere, so he might be able to trick her by talking to her. Tosaka looks at me meaningfully. I may have some objections, but I'll hear you out. If I tell Ilya that Tosaka fled, she'll believe me. She doesn't doubt what people tell her.
だとしても問題はあります。
But there still is a problem.
私がバーサーカーと対峙するのはいい。ですが、シロに同じことはさせられません。シロではバーサーカーの一撃に耐えられない。
While I can confront Berserker, I cannot permit Shiro to do the same. Shiro simply will not survive an attack from Berserker.
誰もシロに殴り合えなんて言ってないわ。
Nobody said Shiro needs to fight.
シロはセイバーから離れて後方支援。セイバーだけじゃバーサーカーを押し切るのは難しいから、危なくなったら助けてあげて。
OK, pořád jedeme skvěle. Už streamu přes 3 hodiny jdem. Shiro just needs to provide backup while keeping his distance from Saber. It's going to be hard for Saber to push past Berserker alone, so help her out if she gets in danger.
バカな。シロはリンのように魔術に長けてはいない。
That is foolish. Shiro is not versed in magecraft like you.
援護と言っても何を？
What can he do to support me?
それはシロが考えて。
Shiro is going to have to figure that out.
もっともバーサーカー相手だとマスターが介入する余裕なんてないわ。シロだけじゃなくて、私だって手を出せばセイバーの足を引っ張るもの。
Not that masters have a whole lot they can do against Berserker. Even I would only drag Saber down if I got involved.
それでも一人だって遊ばせる余裕はないの。
But we just don't have the option to let even one person be idle right now.
シロが殺されればセイバーもおしまいっていうのは分かってるけど、ここはそうしてもらうわ。初めから賭け事みたいな戦いなんだから。
I know very well that Saber will disappear if Shiro dies, but we are going to have to risk it. This whole battle is a gamble to begin with.
それはそうですが。
That is true, but... Saber makes a face and falls silent. Since Tosaka's gone quiet too, she must understand how reckless her proposal is. I can't blame them for being worried. The night I met Saber, the night Berserker attacked, the only thing I managed to use to defend her was my own body. There's a strong possibility that we are headed toward a repeat of what happened that night. So while it may be best for me to distance myself from the battlefield, I'm not going to do so unless they force me to. I know, I'll try to think of something to support from a distance. Huh? Was it really that much of a surprise? I just have to support Saber from a distance, right? I'll come up with something. I grab the 3 branches I gathered earlier as I say that. They're just the right length and exactly the right kind of flexibility. This is the first time I've done this kind of strengthening, but I don't think I'm wrong in the principle here. Basically, I just need to layer my strengthening until it turns into something substantial. Besides, he had something like this, so I can use it as a reference. On top of that, magical energy has been flowing through my body for a while now. All I have to do is to repeat my usual process. I analyze its basic structure and change it. I analyze the material's composition and reinforce it. Starting from the branch, my result should be his bow. But something's missing. I need to think of this from the standpoint of creation. If I want to make something as close as possible to the real thing, I need to envision everything I can about it, down to the smallest detail. I open my eyes. The warped branch was the right shape, but something wasn't... Crap, it's not even close. It's ugly, distorted. And yet, I can tell it will work fine as a bow. Now I just have to create an arrow following the same concept.
シロ、 今の
Shiro, you just... Yeah, I think I got a hang of it after the incident with Shinji. You said it yourself. Don't strain myself.
そうまあ手段ができたのはいいことだし今はいいわ
I see. Well, it's good you have some means to attack, so I won't say anything else.
話を戻すけど
Back to our original topic.
とにかく2人にはバーサーカーと戦ってもらう私はあらかじめ木に登って上から様子を観察してるから
So you two will fight Berserker. I'll climb a tree before everything starts and watch from above.
でセイバーがなんとかバーサーカーに隙を作ったら死角である頭上からとっておきの宝石を使い切ってバーサーカーを串刺しにする
And once Saber's created an opening, I'll skewer Berserker from above. It should be his blind spot, with all my gems.
作戦としてはそれだけの単純なものだけど
That's all there is to our plan. It's pretty simple. Tosaka turns her attention to us, checking whether we have any questions.
宝石というのはリンの魔術ですか
Gems, is that your magecraft, Rin?
だとしても生半可な魔術ではバーサーカーの体には届きません彼を傷つけるには最大純度の攻撃でなければならないのですから
Even if all of this were to work, no amount of half-baked magecraft could reach Berserker's body. If we are to harm him, we will need an attack of truly surpassing power.
分かってる要するに A 判定の攻撃でないとダメなんでしょ
I know that. You're saying we need an attack that's at least rank A. As she says this, Tosaka pulls several jewels from her pocket.
その宝石は
What are these jewels?
私が物心ついた時からために貯めた貯金みたいなものよこれ一つで A 判定の大魔術を即座に発生させられる10個あったんだけどね一つはあなたに使っちゃったわ
Think of it like my life savings. A single one of these can immediately activate into a great magecraft at rank A. I had 10 of these, but I used one on you.
そうかあの時の魔術ならば確かにバーサーカーは防げない
I see. It is of the same caliber of magecraft. Then I can say for sure that Berserker will not be able to defend himself.
彼には私のような対魔力はありません魔術であってもそれが A 判定ならば問題なく貫通する
He does not have magic resistance like I do. Even if it's magecraft, an A rank should definitely pierce his defenses.
そういうことよ本当は小出ししていこうと思ったけど悠長なことは言ってられないわバーサーカーには特別に2つか3つは叩き込んでやるんだから
Exactly. I thought of starting with small batches, but we can't afford to take that much time. I'm thinking of giving Berserker 2 or 3 of these. Tosaka puffs her out her chest confidently. However, hey, aren't you being a little stingy?
同感です私が言えることではありませんがせめて半分使い切るぐらいの気前の良さが必要だと思うのですが
I agree. It may not be my place to say, but I believe under the circumstances you should be using at least half of your stock.
何よそんなの人の勝手でしょ
Why would you say that? That's not your call.
あなたたちね私がどれほど苦労してここまで貯めたって思ってるのよ
You guys don't understand how hard it was to save all this up. Saber and I protest silently. Tosaka's life depends on this operation too. We can't let ourselves fail just because she's being stingy.
分かったわよ半分使えばいいんでしょ使えば
Fine, just half, right? Just half.
何よ言ってみただけじゃない私だってそれくらい分かってるんだから
Come on. I've just kind of been wanting to say that. I know what's at stake here.
とにかく作戦はそれだけよ
Anyway, that's our plan.
あとは私が隠れられてシローがセイバーの援護をしやすい場所を探さなくちゃイリアスフィールが来る前にいい場所を見つけましょう
It's daleko ty možnosti. All we have to do now is find a place for me to hide and a spot for Shiro to support Saber. We should set up before Ilia's sphere gets here. Yeah, we can't stay in these ruins for anymore. And like Tosaka said, we need to find a place where we can all lie and wait. We can all lie and wait for Berserker. But before that, já se strachuju. Já už nemám místa na... Do píče, já už nemám místo na savey. Huh? Já jsem debil, já jsem loadoval, já jsem píčus. Bože. I'm worried about Saber. Yippee! OK, tady to teda ukončím. Tohle byl dlouhý den. A dlouhý stream, a to jsme ještě jako se dostali k tomu hlavnímu saveu do píči. Ale každopádně doufám, že jste si užili dnešní stream, já mám hlad. Se vykoupat, to jsem prostě úžasný. Tady to byl zatím byl asi nejdelší Fate stream, jsem na sebe pyšnej. Doufám, že se uvidíme, no zítra asi ne, pozítří možná a po pozítří možná. No, každopádně. Doufám, že se uvidíme co nejdřív a do té doby nashledanou.